Ferguson, you need to get the results, but at this point in time, he's got a lot of goodwill from everyone. You know, you kind of just want the guy to do well, unless you're an Evertonian this afternoon.
First home league game in charge for Ruben Amorim. Manchester United as a club 13th in the Premier League, 16 points from 12 games, equalling their lowest points tally after 12 games of any previous Premier League season. 7 points off the top four, and Everton starting this game on 11 points, 5 points behind their opponents and 2 points above the bottom three. Manchester United in the red shirts, the white shorts with the red stripes across either side, and the black socks, playing from right to left in the first half towards the Stretford end away to our left. Ruben Amorim is already out on the edge of the pitch and issuing instructions to the team. 6 changes from the win against Bodo Glimt on Thursday night. Andre Onana in goal, no change with the 3 centre-backs, Mazraoui, De Ligt and Lisandro Martinez. Amad Diallo and Diogo Dalot are back in as the 2 wing-backs, as they were against Ipswich last weekend in the Premier League. Kobbie Mainoo making a first start under the new manager in central midfield alongside Casemiro. Back in action for the first time in 10 games for him after injury. And Joshua Zirkzee making a first start for the new boss as well. It is him, Bruno Fernandes and Marcus Rashford as a front 3. And Pat, going to be really interested to see how that is going to operate as a front 3.
Well, what has been interesting to me right from the start is Everton aren't playing the system I expected them to play. They've actually went 4-4-2. Dwight McNeil's playing right up alongside Beto, which tells me that they want to get the 2 wider players to go and attack the spaces behind the wide midfielders of Man United. You play against a back 3, that's often the area where there's a difficulty. So I can see Sean Dyche's thinking there.
Bruno Fernandes gets on the ball on the left, makes a little darting run forward, finds Dalot, the ball leaps up, hits former Manchester United man Ashley Young somewhere near the arm, and you heard the shouts for handball for the Manchester United fans, but our referee John Brooks not interested. Lots of Manchester United possession first couple of minutes of the game. As Mark Chapman was saying, you have a fantastic choice of football listening this afternoon. Chelsea Villa is underway. That's over on Sports Extra. Here's a cross in from Dalot into the penalty area. That went a long way. Branthwaite's there in the end, right in the middle of his own goal in the 6-yard box, and knocks it behind for a corner. Tottenham-Fulham's underway in the Premier League. Commentary on that on the BBC Sports website and app.
It's a brilliant ball into the near post there. Branthwaite reads it really well. However, somebody's got to be attacking the near post. That's your surprise in your voice, isn't it?
Yes.
Nobody going in there, and that's what Zirkzee should have been.
Mazraoui, who's been a very impressive performer for Manchester United so far this season, right-sided centre-back in the first 2 Premier League games, has done a good job for the new manager so far. Pace on the pass from Zirkzee to Dalot on the left. Back it comes to Casemiro, toes it to Mainoo. Fernandes involved. Casemiro slides in to try and win it. Now Mainoo's going to shoot hard straight at Pickford, who blocks it. Zirkzee interested in the rebound, but Pickford grabs it before he can get there. Goal in the FA Cup. This game kicked off at midday. Kettering Doncaster. Andy Giddings.
Well, it's Kettering 1, Doncaster Rovers 1. Leaguers just couldn't hang on. Billy Sharp in a goalmouth scramble from a towering Tom Anderson downward header got there just on the line. Kettering 1, Doncaster Rovers 1.
Thank you, Andy. Blackpool 0, Birmingham 2 is the latest in the FA Cup, and 2 more games just getting underway. Burton against Tamworth, Reading against Harborough. They kick off at 2 o'clock, so getting underway in just under half an hour's time. I'll give you the Everton lineup in just a second. We're 3 minutes in at Old Trafford. Manchester United 0, Everton 0. More thoughts from Pat Nevin as well shortly. Beto's in for Calvert-Lewin, makes a run down the right, sliding challenge by Martinez, and it goes out for an Everton throw. Pat?
Yeah, there's a real verve and spirit about Manchester United, and indeed around this stadium just now. Sometimes it can be a little bit quiet, but there's a little bit more spirit around it. Yeah, they're holding the ball well so far, and you know, you're going to do that for a new manager. You've got a new boss, you want to show well to him. But you can see there's a real liveliness about this Manchester United side just now.
Manchester United on the ball. Goalkeeper Onana in his blue boots. Manchester United very grateful to him at Portman Road last weekend. 2 fabulous saves to deny Liam Delap. That game ended 1-1. Here's Zirkzee, tall figure. Nice touch in the centre circle. Mainoo's in space, quickly ships the ball to his right. Amad Diallo's first run of the afternoon. Drifting inside, looking for Zirkzee. The pass is just behind him inside the box, and Ashley Young is able to sweep a pass up the right. Intercepted by Martinez. His ball forward blocked by Dwight McNeil, and suddenly an attacking opportunity for Everton. Here is McNeil into the penalty area, onto that deadly left foot, trying to tee up the shot or the pass. He's tackled by Casemiro. Manchester United get it back.
Casemiro's got back to him there, and he should never have allowed that, because he's got 3 or 4 yards in Casemiro. He's never going to catch him unless he turns inside. He turned inside because he had to get onto his left foot there. Missed a real chance. That's a brilliant break, a brilliant opportunity for Everton. They did not make the best of it.
So coming up to 5 minutes played, sun shining in Manchester. Manchester United 0, Everton 0. Full commentary on the way. 4 o'clock kickoff this afternoon, just in case you missed that one. Slightly earlier than the normal Sunday afternoon kickoff in the Premier League. John Murray and Dion Dublin will bring you full commentary from Anfield of Liverpool against Manchester City. Jordan Pickford's all in green. He's Everton's goalkeeper as usual. Ashley Young, title winner with Manchester United under Sir Alex Ferguson in 2013. Ball towards McNeil, flicks it over the top of Martinez. The offside flag is up against Beto. Ashley Young at right back, Mikalenko left back, Tarkowski and Branthwaite the 2 centre-backs, Jesper Lindstrom on loan from Napoli wide right, Illiman and Jai on the left, Doucouré and Idrissa Gueye in central midfield, and as you say, Pat, it's McNeil and Beto up top as a 2.
Yeah, McNeil's getting very, very close to Beto. They're trying to work together, understand each other. Just a moment ago, McNeil almost put Beto away. He'd gone a yard or 2 early. He was directly in line for us, and even we could see that was offside there. But you can tell that Sean Dyche has said that to his players. You need to get those 2 work together. Don't leave Beto isolated if you can. Everton
in the blue shirts, white numbers on their backs, blue shorts with white trim and the blue socks, chasing Manchester United inside their own half. Mazraoui plays it across to Ahmad. It was his burst down the right very early on at Portman Road that set up the first goal scored for Ruben Amorim as Manchester United boss. Marcus Rashford, the goal scorer, back in the side he is for this one. De Ligt's ball forward into Mainu, holds off a challenge in midfield, outside of his right foot, just scoops a pass back to Martinez. Martinez has space to bring the ball forward up towards the halfway line, crosses that, curling pass over the top, good ball into the path of Dalot, heavy first touch. It allows Branthwaite to slide in and knock it behind for a corner.
How good is Branthwaite? He's absolutely spectacular. He is basically a one-man defence. Brilliant tackle there.
All right, Manchester United corner on the way. Bruno Fernandes is waiting to take. Goal at Stamford Bridge, though. Sohail Sahi.
It's gone the way of Chelsea. Chelsea lead Aston Villa by a 1-0. Nicholas Jackson with his 8th for the Premier League season. A nice cross by Cucurella, and Jackson converted off the post. Chelsea 1, Aston Villa 0.
Commentary continues on Sports Extra. Manchester United corner, first of the game. Bruno Fernandes warmly applauded as he went to get that ball, delivers with his right foot, zips it into the far post. Tarkowski headed away. Ahmad on the volley, good hit. Hits someone inside the penalty area. The ball comes spinning out into the middle of the Everton half. Mikalenko tries to bring it away. Good pace down the left here from Njai, and Njai has 2 to aim at in the middle. In it comes towards Beto. Beto is able to take a touch. McNeil's behind him. Beto turns inside the box. Manchester United get a foot in. Martinez is back there. Onana clears, and then Njai can't control it. It runs off his left foot and goes out for a United throw.
Recently, Everton have gone 20, 30, 40 minutes in a row without looking dangerous. They're not like that today. On the break, they look good. Njai, that's his first opportunity run there, and he does make a good run. There are gaps. I mentioned early on, when you play against a back 3, the danger area usually is between that wide defensive centre-back and the wing-back. And you can tell that's exactly the area that Sean Dyche is trying to get his players to run into. So, on 2 occasions already, they've got themselves into dangerous positions, but not made good use of them with the last pass.
Pat Nevin with us at Old Trafford. Manchester United 0, Everton 0. The ball is lofted high into the middle of the Manchester United half. Fernandes flicks a header forward. It comes off Xerxes and goes back into the United right-back position. Very scrappy at the moment. The ball won't come down. Mainu then tries to bring it down and wriggle away from the challenge of Gueye. He's done that. Xerxes takes it on the turn inside his own half. Casemiro goes flying into a challenge, but the ball breaks nicely for Everton here. Lindstrom with a dipping shot straight into the chest of Andre Onana, and it's a good save from the Manchester United goalkeeper. Let's get an early update from the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. Tottenham-Fulham, Aaron Paul.
0-0 here, Spurs 0, Fulham 0. Early chance of Tottenham. Heung-min Son playing down the middle, replacing the injured Dominic Solanke with a snapshot which was saved by the feet of Bernd Leno. That's the only chance we've had so far as Spurs on the attack now, with Timo Werner with the shot. It's blocked away. Spurs 0, Fulham 0.
Chelsea leading Aston Villa by a 1-0. So Tottenham-Fulham, if you want that in full, that is available as a commentary via the BBC Sport website and app. Chelsea-Villa is on Sports Extra. available on BBC Sounds, like this game, Manchester United 0, Everton 0, and Liverpool, Manchester City, if you're on the move later on, kicks off at 4 o'clock, BBC Sounds app. If you've not got it, get it downloaded. You can listen to us wherever you go. Lisandro Martinez inside his own penalty area, closed down by Lindstrom, gets the ball away to Dalot. Dalot's low pass up the middle of the pitch, Branthwaite in brilliantly on Xerxes. Ball comes flying back to Dalot. Dalot in the left-back position, opens it up beautifully out to the right-hand side. Ahmad waits for the arrival of the ball, takes it on a couple of paces, rolls it down the right to Rashford. Rashford up against Branthwaite, fires the cross in, goes fizzing over the bar and behind for a goal kick to Everton. 10 minutes in, 0-0.
Looking at this game yesterday and thinking about it, the fact that Everton don't score many goals and don't lose many goals, and let's be fair, Manchester United aren't free scoring at the moment either. This has been a better start than we could have expected. It's been a really good open game, both teams going and attacking it. Everton playing a lot more open than I've seen them for quite some time.
And what we've not seen, Pat, you were commentating for the BBC on the Copa Libertadores final last night. It was a red card within 30 seconds.
Yeah,
that game,
honestly, it was like, you know, that ultimate fighting. It looked more like that. UFC. Oh, what an incredible sending off that was after 29 seconds.
Yeah, I mean, it can really catch you out as a commentator as well. Everton trying to catch Manchester United out. Beto, awful shot with his left foot, just inside the box, trying to tee one up that he was going to whip past Onana into the top corner. He's shanked it badly wide. Goal kick United.
But that's 2 or 3 very good positions Everton have got into now. And as I say, they're not making any capital out of it. And the final ball has been really, really poor. But there is an almighty big gap there between the back 3 and the 2 centre midfield players. You can't afford to have that in this level. Certainly that's where Everton are trying to make some space, and they're making it easily.
Ruben Amorim, I noticed this at Portman Road last week as well, when he's watching the game often he's down on his haunches. I'm trying to think who else. Was it Villas Boas who used to do a lot of that? Who was it that was down on their haunches all the time in the Premier League? Marcelo Bielsa had his little bucket, didn't he, that he sat on by the side of the pitch. Amorim's back on his feet anyway. Manchester United 0, Everton 0.
I don't know why you go down like that. He's fuming because he's not getting his players going to the speed of closing down. He's absolutely furious, and I think it was Xerxes and indeed Marcus Rashford not getting close to the defenders passing the ball.
And Jai on the turn for Everton, trying to thread one through to McNeil. That gets away from him. Casemiro knocks it back to Martinez. De Ligt back to Onana. Onana looking for options left and right, clips the ball out with his left foot to the left. Dallow's going to lose this to Lindstrom. Battles hard to try and win it back. McNeil gets his body in the way, cleverly hooks the ball between his 2 feet, jumps out of a challenge. Dallow's won another tackle. Casemiro goes down on the edge of the Manchester United area, and this time Manchester United do get the free kick.
Yeah, they're trying to put as much pressure as they possibly can on Casemiro. I mean, he's been clever there. He's made sure he's taken the hit, and he has taken the hit.
Andre Villas-Boas, Rob Schofield, our producer, has just brought up a couple of pictures. He used to do it in the tight suit, though. You always felt the trousers might just go at any point.
It's a Portuguese thing, though.
Well, it could be, couldn't it? Yes. Ruben Amorim is only the 7th, Pat, 7th Portuguese manager in the Premier League. I actually thought it might be more than that. But some very, very good ones. And certainly one by the name of Jose Mourinho when he arrived at Chelsea 2004. Xerxes' ball, good vision. Ahmad's first time hit is wide of the target, and Jordan Pickford is able to watch that go wide. This has been wide open. First 13 minutes, but it's still 0-0.
Do you know, yesterday there were a couple of games, particularly obviously the Arsenal one, where you thought, have they all been watching Ange Postecoglou? We're going to play this wide open, mad football. I've kind of got another one here. I mean, it is wildly open. It's kind of helped with the fact that the 2 systems are so different, and the players actually aren't able to cover all the positions, and they're sort of feeling their way into it. But it really is an open game. The one thing I have to say that hasn't been good, the finishing and the final ball has actually stunk so far. It's been awful. I mean, considering the standard of the players out there, it hasn't been good enough.
Beto starting up front for Everton for the first time this season in the Premier League. Dominic Calvert-Lewin has been the starter as the centre forward for the 12 previous Premier League games, but Everton have only scored 3 goals in their last 6 league games. 2 of those came in the 2-0 win at Ipswich. Beto actually scored the other one, which was a late equaliser at home to Fulham. Pickford's ball up the middle of the pitch, finds Njai controls, lays it off to McNeil. McNeil runs from left to right, continues that run. Lindstrom infield to Njai. Good turn from him, gets that cross in. Mainu blocks it, and it goes behind for the Everton corner. And Everton are actually stringing some good stuff together, Pat.
You mentioned that game against Fulham. I was at that Everton versus Fulham game. And Everton, the fans will tell you, they were awful. Absolutely awful. There wasn't any fight, there wasn't any spirit. No attacks almost in the entire game. And they got that sneak goal at the end. They couldn't believe they sneaked a point. This is like watching a different football club. They're so open, they're so vibrant. They've got a real energy about them just now, Everton. Having said that, so have Manchester United, but I think Everton fans are very excited on the right-hand side away from us. Much better than they could have expected.
Corner for Everton, so this is going to be taken right in front of those away fans. McNeil, short run to the ball, curling in, headed away there by Dallow on the edge of the 6-yard box. Controlled by Gay, back to McNeil, swings that in first time. De Ligt is up to head it away. Lindstrom tries to hit that on the volley, completely miscues it. It runs to Ahmad. Little layoff inside to Mazraoui, wide on the right inside his own half, closed down by Doucouré, and Jai comes in to help out, and Mazraoui has actually won a free kick on the right just inside the Manchester United half. So in terms of Premier League history, Everton have been here 32 times for Premier League games. They've only won twice, and interestingly the first of those came in the first season of the Premier League. Manchester United's first ever home game in the Premier League was a 3-0 defeat at home to Everton. Peter Beardsley scored one of the goals. Mo Johnston scored one of the goals, Pat.
Yeah, shows you how long ago I played with both of them at Everton.
I know.
Both very, very good players, it has to be said as well.
Here's Lisandro Martinez, 16 minutes in at Old Trafford. Sky's darkening a little bit here. Manchester United 0, Everton 0. De Ligt's ball up the middle to Mainu, still inside the Manchester United half. Chelsea leading Aston Villa by a goal to 0. Commentary of that is over on Sports Extra. Still Tottenham 0, Fulham 0. Casemiro miscontrols, but the ball runs to Mainu. Everton just stand off Mainu, the 19-year-old who wears number 37 for Manchester United, made such an impact last season for England as well during the Euros. Rashford trying to get away down the right, Pickford out to meet him. Rashford's cut back, there's no one there for Manchester United. And Everton are going to be able to clear.
Got it wrong, Pickford there, didn't he? If you come out, you've got to get the ball. He did not get the ball.
Here comes Rashford again. It was in fact Ahmad, wasn't it, down the right, who played the cut back in for Rashford, and Rashford couldn't get on the end of it to try and stick it away.
Yeah, but I mean, we've seen it yesterday again, the amount of time goalkeepers coming out now, and they're asked to come out, so I'm not blaming them, but giving away, penalty kicks. And Pickford, he was completely lost there. He's just lucky the ball didn't go back. It could easily have went back to Rashford. It would have been close to a tap-in.
Ashley Young's ball down the right is headed out by Lisandro Martinez. Half-time FA Cup second round. Blackpool against Birmingham. Julia Bold.
It's Blackpool 0, Birmingham 2. The visitors are bossing it despite making 10 changes. Lyndon Dykes and Lucas Djukovic with the goals. Blackpool just struggling to hang on to the ball, to be honest. At the break, it is Blackpool 0, Birmingham 2.
5 ties in the FA Cup second round this afternoon. Third round draw, which is always a special moment in the football calendar. 7 o'clock tomorrow night, live into the Monday Night Club. You can also watch it on BBC Two. And it's Kettering 1, Doncaster 1 in the earliest kickoff in the FA Cup so far today. So they're into 8 minutes of added time at that game at the moment. Pickford clears for Everton. Floats it up towards the halfway line. Little flicked header from Njai was a nice one to McNeil. On to Doucouré. Wide it comes to Lindstrom. Lindstrom cuts infield here, outside of his right foot, tries to find Doucouré. Dallow slides in. Fernandes is strong, holds off Lindstrom and then tries to drill a ball down the middle of the pitch, but couldn't get it towards Xerxes. Everton have it back. Manchester United defending inside their own half. McNeil back to Gay. Gay has Ashley Young in support, just trotting forward on the right. Sean Dyche, the manager, pointing and shouting in that familiar gruff voice that you can't quite hear up here in the commentary position behind the dugouts. Here's Doucouré, slides one infield to McNeil. McNeil turns smoothly, back to Gay, loose pass from him. Ahmad read it, wins it initially, then loses it. Here's Gay again, 40 yards out in a central position. Tries to whip one out to the left. Ahmad intercepts, and Manchester United now look to come on the counter. Pat.
Yeah, good possession there for Everton. Held it well. And the thing is very noticeable. There is no fear. Rashford's away.
What a ball. Fernandes outside of his right foot. Tries to take it past Pickford, who gets something on it. And then the flag is up. Marcus Rashford was offside. But the ball from Fernandes was an absolute peach.
Yeah, I suspected it was offside anyway, but they had to play on there. We're talking about that, fearlessness that teams used to come here. A lot of teams came here. And they sat back and they expected to get hammered. It's been a long time since that has happened. And I'm watching Everton playing here, and they look more fearful when they play teams like Fulham. They've come here with a real belief that they can get something out of this game. and it just shows you how quick it changes in the game. You know, if you don't have a good period for a little while, other pros in the Premier League will say, don't care, we're going to have a dig at you. And certainly at the moment, Everton are.
And in a way, Pat, funnily enough, that kind of thing is almost happening at the, and I know it's very early stages, at the Etihad Stadium. Yeah,
I'm with you, absolutely.
Tottenham last weekend. I mean, Tottenham have never really had any fear going there, but, you know, were brave, got on the front foot and got their rewards, and suddenly people see vulnerabilities and they're ready to pounce.
In the Premier League, people are very quick onto it.
McNeil trying to get one through to Beto. Long strides from Beto, round Onana, the angle's tight, and Manchester United get the blocking. De Ligt was there, might have just struck the outside of the post as well, and it's gone behind in the end for the Manchester United goal kick, but that was a chance for Everton.
Look, really, really lively Beto there. You don't get that many times to see him in a first half, because he usually just comes on. However, movement's really good. There was a line there. He's up against three, but the flick ball through. His pace is absolutely superb there, and it's just hit this kind of side netting, as it were. But once again, well, I was going to say Everton look dangerous. Both teams look dangerous. That's twice in the last couple of minutes. Teams they've almost had a man through. Certainly with Rashford, it was offside only marginally. It's amazing there's not been a goal yet.
I know, 20 minutes in and it's still 0-0. Manchester United 0, Everton 0. Casemiro slides into block inside his own half and the ball comes all the way back to Ashley Young. So Liverpool, Manchester City, full commentary from Anfield at 4 o'clock. Liverpool starting today, 6 points above Arsenal. If they win that game against Manchester City, there'll be an incredible 11 points above them. Chelsea, if they win, will go level on points with Arsenal. Last we heard they were leading Aston Villa by 1-0. We'll head back there in a second. Let's just see what Everton can do here. And Jai in the inside left channel finds McNeil. McNeil's cross is ahead of Beto and Onana comes diving out to grab it. Sahel.
Yeah, Chelsea 1, Aston Villa 0 here, Alistair. 21 minutes played, but a good chance for Aston Villa since Chelsea scored through Ollie Watkins. He was played through by McGinn, one-on-one with the goalkeeper Robert Sanchez, but his effort was weak and it was comfortable for Sanchez. Chelsea 1, Aston Villa 0.
Commentary continues over on Sports Extra. Worth saying at this point as well, midweek Premier League football, every single game we have got for you in the week as Pickford clears with his left foot long downfield into the penalty area. Starting on Tuesday night at Portman Road. Full commentary of Ipswich Crystal Palace. Leicester West Ham that night will start on Sports Extra, and then the second half will move on to 5 Live, and Pat's on Sports Extra at St James's Park. That's a big game, Pat. 7:30 Wednesday night, Newcastle Liverpool.
Absolute cracker. Can't wait for it just now. There's so many good games in, all coming thick and fast. By the way, that Chelsea game, Nicholas Jackson, I was bold enough to say I thought Jackson might score 20 goals this season. Now, to be fair, that's a big
When
call.
did you say that?
About 6 weeks ago.
Did you?
So,
okay.
Well, I didn't say I wrote it. Now, the point is, very few people do get 20 goals a season.
Yeah.
If you start looking at it, I think that's 8 today.
20 Premier League goals, you're saying. Not in all competitions, Premier League goals.
Call, but he's getting so many chances
Yeah.
and his finishing's much better now.
Fernandes, lofted ball down the middle. Branthwaite has looked imperious so far for Everton. Reads it beautifully. Oh, that's lovely as well. Dropped the shoulder and just absolutely sent Bruno Fernandes the other way.
Do you think all the Man United fans are saying, can we have him?
Yes, exactly.
I know they've made it clear they want him. There's lots of clubs that would take Branthwaite, but honestly, I do think he's one of the most special players around at the moment.
Gay into Njai, who's one of those who plays with the socks rolled down. Lovely quick feet, gets him away from Casemiro. Wide to Lindstrom. Lindstrom's got Dalot backpedaling on the right. Does get the cross in, but Onana's been really good with his handling so far. There's been a few that have zipped in and bounced right in front of him. He's been totally sure.
And he has to be, because Beto, give him his due, he was really close onto him there, so anything comes off him at all, Beto's closed him down there. But once again, that ball zips across the front post, and you know the very best centre forwards, they're there. That's where they are. That's where they live, in that front post there, when that ball zipped in. Has to be said, well done Lindstrom. Very, very good balling.
Here's Fernandes, challenged by Gay inside the Manchester United half. Wants a free kick and is not going to get that. Guess who? Branthwaite steps forward and tries to get Everton on the move again. 5 Live's commentary on Wednesday night will feature Manchester United big game away at Arsenal. De Ligt, edge of his own penalty area, heads the ball away. Doucouré nods it to his left, and Jai, little bit of skill, nearly took it past Mazraoui, who got a crucial touch, then plays the pass down the right. Here's Ahmad running past Mikalenko. Rashford stretching his legs, flying down the right. Ahmad's caught, and that is going to be a free kick for Manchester United. I'm hearing there's a free kick at Stamford Bridge, which suggests to me that Cole Palmer might be over it, Sahel Sahi.
Not quite sure, Alistair. Still Chelsea 1, Aston Villa 0. It's an indirect free kick. It's in front of the penalty spot and just behind the 6-yard spot, so I'd say 7 yards away. Cole Palmer with an effort was parried away by Martinez. Torres passed it back to his goalkeeper, and then Stuart Atwell pointed for an indirect free kick. I haven't seen this in a long time. Fernandes and Cole Palmer are just talking to each other. Central area of the penalty box. Referee's got his arm reaching the skywards. Fernandes going to tip it to Palmer. Martinez is going to rush out to him. Every single Aston Villa player on the goal line is blocked by Martinez. Comes out to Lavia. Once again, it's blocked by a posse of white shirts. The free kick is over, but Chelsea still have possession and they lead Aston Villa by 1-0.
Thank you, Sahel. Commentary on Sports Extra. Manchester United 0, Everton 0 here. They so often, it needs a bit of ingenuity, that, Pat, doesn't it? Because you're so close to goal there. They so often get blocked, those.
When you see, it's such a rare thing to see that indirect free kick from inside the box, right in front of the goals. And we all know that. Players never really practice it because it's so rare. You practice all sorts of weird things like playing with 10 men, sometimes 9 men. That, very rarely practiced. So you kind of have to make it up as you go along.
20 minutes remaining in the first half here. Manchester United 0, Everton 0. Martinez out to the left to Dalot. Xerxes makes a run wide down the left. Young slides into block. Dalot plays it back to the halfway line. Martinez is there for Manchester United. Here's Bruno Fernandes, and he goes back to Matthias de Ligt. St Johnstone Rangers latest. Gavin Wallace.
Yeah, it's just went full time. Ali, St Johnstone 0, Rangers 1. Captain James Tavernier's first league goal of the season ensures no European hangover for the visitors. Yanis Hadji's floated ball into the back was met by the Englishman, which reduces their arrears at the top to 6 behind Aberdeen and 11 behind Celtic. St Johnstone 0, Rangers 1.
Here come Everton, and Jai, ball at his feet, trying to slide it in down the inside left channel to Beto. Couldn't get the pass through. Mainu is back there, wins a header. Mazraoui's given the ball away, and Jai's chasing around trying to win it back. That was an opportunity wasted, Pat.
Again, yet another one. I mean, Jai was brilliant there. 3 different times he thought he'd lost the ball. Started off with a nutmeg against Mazraoui, but when he finally got through and the pass was on, and he's furious with himself because he should have been able to play that behind the defence. Better would have been in 1-on-1 against Onana. Couldn't make the final pass, and that's been the story of this first half so far.
Manchester United 0, Everton 0. Chelsea 1, Villa 0. Tottenham 0, Fulham 0. Casemiro's ball back to the halfway line. FA Cup kick-off at midday. Kettering Doncaster, the full-time whistle's blown. Andy Giddings.
90 minutes up, Kettering 1, Doncaster Rovers 1. Isaiah Noel Williams opened the scoring on the half hour to tease an upset, but Billy Sharp equalised for the visitors, who in truth created far more with 15 minutes of time to go. Both sides might have nicked it in second half stoppage time, but we have 30 minutes more and the prospect of penalties. Kettering 1, Rovers 1.
We will check back in with you in a bit. Andy, let's check in with Aaron Paul watching Tottenham Fulham.
Spurs 0, Fulham 0, approaching the half-hour mark here, Alistair, and we've had a hat-trick of half chances for Fulham. Issa Diop and Calvin Bassey both seeing shots blocked, while Raul Jimenez was played in over the top. Fraser Forster really brave to smother the ball, beat it away and deny the Mexican striker. Spurs 0, Fulham 0.
Commentary of that game via the BBC Sport website and app, and we've got full commentary here on 5 Live on the way of Liverpool against Manchester City at Anfield in the company of John Murray and Dion Dublin later on. McNeil, bit of dribbling from him on the left, and Jai takes the ball in his stride, darts past Fernandes, stopped then by Mainu, who just lends the ball to Bruno Fernandes. He says, I'll take this, and goes sprinting up to the halfway line, still in possession of the ball. Blue shirts getting back in numbers for Everton. Out to Ahmad. Ahmad plays back here to Rashford, looking for runners, low cross into the box. Tarkowski takes that on the bounce and just cushions a clearance away with the instep of his right boot. There's Mainu, slides it forward looking for Fernandes, intercepted. McNeil's pass to the left, and then Mainu upends Idrissa Gueye, and that will be a free kick for Everton.
It looked very ugly, that tackle there, but I do think it was just slightly missed time. He didn't mean it. Slightly, Gueye actually runs into him, so the referee's going to give him a talking to, no more than that. And I think he's done the right thing there. I think Ruben Amorim, he does cut a frustrated figure down there a lot of the time at the moment. They're losing the midfield. They are losing the midfield just now. the players they're playing up against just now have got more energy.
Yeah.
They've got more physicality about them. You've got Doucouré in there. You've got, obviously, you've got just the Gay in there as well. He's got lots and lots of energy. But they're getting help with Ndiaye coming in and McNeil coming in there as well. And at the moment, you're finding yourself with Casemiro, he's getting overloaded.
Happened last Sunday at Portman Road, Pat. It will certainly happen, I'm sure, against Arsenal on Wednesday night. That'll be a 5 Live commentary. Manchester United away to Arsenal. Flag up, Casemiro's down. Pickford's long free kick, and Tarkowski, with a big smile on his face, shakes his head as if to say to the assistant referee, what are you giving that for? Free kick for Manchester United. I mean, Ruben Amorim, he knows that, Pat. He knows that before he started the job. He also keeps referring to it. I mean, every time he speaks about that physicality that his teams need, that this squad actually lacks.
Well, that is the point. I think the phrase was, he'll get his message across, so they'll know what he wants them to do.
Yeah.
But can they do it?
Yes.
And that is the question. And I'm not sure they all can. And he's learning that. Remember, he's only been here for a little while. He's not seen them maybe as much as all of these fans around here have seen the players. He needs to learn the capabilities. He's learning some frustrating things at the moment. They're not terrible at the moment, but they're playing against an Everton side they've been struggling, and Everton look sharper.
He's down on his haunches again, the Manchester United manager. He's watching Everton passing the ball around inside their own half. Tarkowski's come back to his goalkeeper, Pickford. 15 minutes remaining in the first half. Finishing has been wasteful so far from both teams, if you are just tuning in. Tarkowski's ball forward here to Gay, inside his own half. McNeil drops deep, gets involved in the play, lays it back to Tarkowski. McNeil turns heads downfield. Now Ashley Young is looking for his run down the right-hand side. Martinez is across, stoops, heads the ball out for an Everton throw.
Do you notice the difference there? The ball's played up, and you've got 3-4 Everton players closing down, high pressing, giving them no time at all. At the back, when Everton have got it, comfort, easy on the ball. They're not getting closed down. Xerxes not going to do that. Bruno's not going to do that. Even Marcus Rashford hasn't been doing it either. Very, very noticeable. And by the way,
yeah,
I think you're spotted.
Well, I was just going to say, Pat, that applause is for Harry Maguire, who I forgot to mention is on the Manchester United bench this afternoon, hasn't been involved for 9 games himself. So players are coming back slowly but surely for Manchester United. Rashford and Xerxes trying to work something on the halfway line. Got in a bit of a muddle. And Jai plays it back to Doucouré. Here's Gay for Everton. Into the feet of McNeil. No pressure on McNeil. He looked over his shoulder there and thought, I might have someone breathing down my neck. He didn't, was able to turn. Plays it back to Ashley Young. He's run a long way. Poor cross into the box. Martinez side foots it away. United fans excited as Casemiro plays it forward to Rashford. Brings it under control well. McNeil's come back to try and do some defending. Rashford takes on Tarkowski, who gets his body in the way, and it goes behind for a Manchester United corner. Chelsea Villa latest, Sahel Sahi.
Still Chelsea 1, Aston Villa 0, but a huge chance for Nicholas Jackson to double the score. Martinez was on the ball inside the penalty area. He played it to his right. I think he thought Jackson was an Aston Villa defender. The goal was at his mercy. Heavy first touch. He played it back to Martinez and eventually went out for a corner. Aston Villa dealt with that, but very fortunate not to be too behind. Still Chelsea 1, Aston Villa 0.
Would have been another one towards the 20, Pat. Chance missed, but the chances are coming thick and fast for Nicholas Jackson. Corner for Manchester United from the left. Bruno Fernandes, arrowed ball. Rashford's first time effort, deflected in. Manchester United have the lead. Rashford runs off to celebrate. He just stroked it first time on the half volley. I think it's hit Jared Branthwaite in there that has taken it away from Jordan Pickford. Rashford will try and claim it. He scored in Ruben Amorim's first game in charge at Ipswich, and he's got Manchester United off the mark in the first home league game under the new boss. They lead Everton by a goal to 0.
Well, if the manager was looking a bit disappointed before, he shouldn't look at now. By the way, we've got a close-up of him, he still looks a little bit shell-shocked, but that's the training ground. And when that comes off from the training ground, you're delighted with it. Done well, Rashford. He's not lashed at it. He has to hit it in half volley when it comes over. He just tries to keep it on target. And if you're a defender, it's coming at you at pace, you throw out a leg, it's come off Branthwaite. I'm kind of hoping for everyone's sake that it's given to Rashford. We'll see from here. Yeah, that was going in. I think he'll get it.
OK, we think Rashford's shot was heading for the bottom corner. Branthwaite has instinctively just stuck out a left boot and he's towed it past his goalkeeper, and Pickford will say, well, I would have got that if it was heading for the bottom corner. So Manchester United lead Everton by a goal to 0. Let's not forget, they took the lead against Ipswich last week. That finished 1-1. Took the lead against Bodo Glimt. Ended up going 2-1 down and winning the game 3-2. Let's see how they respond now. 10 minutes remaining in the first half.
Well, that should give Manchester United a lift, because they've been not massively second best, but I think they have been second best, certainly in energy levels and chances. There's not been a great deal in it. But are they confident enough to say, right, OK, let's control this game, let's get the ball down, let's hold it the way they were in the first 5 or 10 minutes? Because since then, they've been pushed back. We haven't actually underlined one other little thing.
Oh, yeah.
Manchester United are facing the wrong way in this half. Usually, Everton must have turned them round, they must have won the toss of the coin, so they've not got the Stretford in to attack in the second half.
That's right. So on the Premier League app, Marcus Rashford has been given the goal. Up on the screen in front of me, it came up as a Jared Branthwaite own goal. We're going with Rashford for now. The important thing is, though, Manchester United have a goal and they lead Everton by 1-0. Chelsea lead Villa 1-0. Commentary on that game is on Sports Extra. Tottenham-Fulham is still 0-0. Commentary on that game is available via the BBC Sport website and app. Everton with Branthwaite on the halfway line. Passes out to Njai on the left, but I think Everton will take plenty of encouragement from the chances they've been able to create, the openings they've forced in this first 35 minutes. Branthwaite plays to Gay. He's under pressure, trying to turn away from Xerxes. Xerxes interested, couldn't quite nab his man. Njai, and then Xerxes penalised for dragging Gay back as he tried to get the ball off him. Let's check in at Tottenham. Aaron Paul.
Best chance of the game so far has come for Fulham, and Raul Jimenez cross played in from the right. Ball just floated in towards the 6-yard box and around the 6-yard line, and there was Jimenez able to take the snapshot, forcing a fabulous save out of Fraser Forster, deputising for the injured Guillermo Vicario in the Tottenham goal. Cracking save, will do wonders for the keeper's confidence. Jimenez will wonder how he didn't score. 36 played, Spurs 0, Fulham 0.
Another goal at Stamford Bridge, Sahel Sahi.
And Chelsea have deserved this. Chelsea 2, Aston Villa 0, and then captain Enzo Fernandez winning the ball in midfield. It was a nice, slow, calm build-up, fired into him, and Fernandez with a wonderful right-footed volley finish. Emi Martinez had no chance. Chelsea deserve this lead. They lead Aston Villa by 2-0.
Your former club there, Pat, having a decent season at the moment, aren't they, under Enzo Maresca, with his two different squads for different competitions. Fernandez heads the ball forward towards himself. Pickford's out, heads it away from the edge of the box. Xerxes thought about a first-time shot, decided against that, 40 yards out in a central position. Everton scampering back into defensive positions. Mazraoui up towards Rashford. The layoff doesn't come off.
Yeah, a bit more confidence. Look a bit better now. Sharper again, Manchester United, after quite a dull period there. Tackles going in a little bit for United, closing a little bit higher up the field as well. It's amazing the difference a goal makes to a team.
Here's Mainu on the ball for Manchester United. Chelsea leading Aston Villa by 2-0. Commentary over on Sports Extra. The win would take them to 25 points. The goal difference at the moment now plus 11. Arsenal are on 25 points. Their goal difference is plus 12. Chelsea away at Southampton in midweek. I'm just wondering whether Nicholas Jackson might come into the fantasy team, Pat, for that one for me. Given what you've been saying, what people have been seeing. Well,
he's getting chances, and they're absolutely dominating the game there down against Aston Villa, who are a good side. They're utterly dominating, as we can see in our little monitor here.
Mazraoui, yes, you've got the Chelsea game on a little screen in front of us, the Manchester United game as well, which we've obviously got on the screen, but live in front of our eyes in the 5 Live commentary position at Old Trafford. Manchester United leading Everton by 1-0. Rashford side foots it down the right to Ahmad. 1-2 between him and Rashford. Ahmad again in this right wing-back role for Manchester United. Back to Mazraoui. Mazraoui passes to De Ligt. Mazraoui gets it again from the Dutchman, just inside the Everton half, in the inside right channel. Mazraoui low to Ahmad. Has the beating of Mykolenko, was away down the line. Mykolenko sticks an arm out, fouls him. That'll be a yellow card. A free kick for Manchester United. First goal at Tottenham today, Aaron Paul.
No goal, nearly a goal. Massive save from Bernd Leno from a header from Radu Dragusin. Ball popped in from the right-hand side. There's a fizzing cross met with a bullet header from the Romanian centre-half, and Dragusin just aiming it towards the top corner of the net. Flying save from Bernd Leno in the Fulham goal. This one a really exciting game. No concrete chances. Fulham on the attack now. It is 0-0.
First nearly a goal. That's what I meant to say, Pat. Sorry, not first goal.
Certainly looking down there when Amorim took out the substitutes to go and have a warm-up. Sometimes they do that to have an effect on the players on the field. It worked, didn't it?
It did work.
It absolutely worked.
Manchester United lead Everton 1-0. Rashford's heavily deflected shot beating Pickford. Fernandes, pace on that. Oh, Pickford cleared it with his right foot on the half volley, just sort of threw everything in the way of it. Really awkward one for the goalkeeper. Defenders rushing at him, attackers rushing at him, and he almost sort of turned his head, closed his eyes, and it hit his right leg.
It was actually a no-look clearance. It was a half volley. I think it got him just below the knee there. But to be fair, it's a brilliant ball in there, bouncing between the goalkeeper and the centre-backs. He has to come for it. Horrible one for a goalkeeper to deal with. But by hook or by crook he did.
Yeah. And then the offside flag went up, so Everton have taken their free kick. They trail Manchester United by a goal to nil. We got 5 minutes remaining in the first half. 5 Live and BBC Sounds. 5 Live's Premier League Sunday. Big one at 4 o'clock at Anfield. Full commentary on Liverpool, Manchester City. Ashley Young with his left foot passes back to Pickford. This is not no look. No, this is Pickford standing a good 10 yards outside his penalty area, plays the pass to the left, and Ahmad is in to win it, and Everton are in real trouble now. Bruno Fernandes lays it across the box. Xerxes shoots and scores. Manchester United pounce. They robbed Everton of the ball inside their own half, and suddenly the red shirts were flying forward. Fernandes finds the right pass, and Joshua Xerxes gets his second goal of the season. Manchester United 2, Everton 0.
Well, first you have to say, Branthwaite has arguably scored an OG, and he has utterly blown it by being caught in possession. Now, he's a fantastic young player. However, you can't be that relaxed on the ball. You can't be overconfident when you're the last player. Gets caught on it. And finally, Manchester United has shown some decent finishing. And playing the right ball when you're in, when you've got half a chance, it's a different looking United now. And it's all come from that first goal, and they are cruising. It wasn't a great ball he was given back, but even so, you cannot take 2 touches there. Well done by Ahmad.
Yeah, I was just going to say, Pat, because just watching the replay there, and we saw it live happen as well, Ahmad could see that ball was about to come, took a chance and chased. Branthwaite was casual, and that's how United got the ball.
In the modern game, when the ball's played back to you there, nobody launches it. In times gone by in that situation, most centre-backs will just launch it. It's rose head, don't care. This is a difficult one to take 2 touches in. Nobody's doing it now. And Ahmad realises that, and that's why he's got the half chance.
I can tell you the manager really enjoyed the goal as well. I was quite struck actually last week when they scored in the second minute. Rashford scored that early one against Ipswich. There wasn't much of a reaction from Ruben Amorim, but I think he really enjoyed the way his team went about that. The incisive pass from Fernandes, Ahmad winning it initially, and the finish from Xerxes. Young heads the ball away from the edge of his own penalty area. So Chelsea leading Villa 2-0, Manchester United leading Everton 2-0. Here's Bruno Fernandes wide on the left, won the ball off Ashley Young, holds him off, down to the byline he goes, he's beaten Young as well. Chance for United again, Young slides in, Fernandes stumbles and his shot's deflected, it goes up in the air and Jordan Pickford is able to grab it for Everton. Tottenham Fulham, Aaron Paul.
Spurs 0, Fulham 0. Another world-class save from Fraser Forster. This time from Alex Iwobi, advancing on the right-hand side of the box. He's lashed the ball towards goal, and the big frame of the goalkeeper has tipped the ball onto the crossbar. Spurs living dangerously 0-0.
Goals here from Rashford and Xerxes. So Xerxes brought into the team by the manager for this game. His first start under the new boss, and has repaid him with the goal. Dalot plays out from the back. Casemiro lobs it forward to Fernandes. Loads of space for him to be able to chest the ball down. Xerxes sees something on with a big diagonal to the right. Doesn't quite find Ahmad. But then the clearance Ahmad controls and gets Manchester United moving again. Casemiro in the centre circle. And Manchester United play back into their own half. Blackpool, Birmingham, FA Cup second round. I think there's been another goal. Julia Bold.
The house is now Blackpool 1, Birmingham 2. Steve Bruce made 4 changes at half-time, and it's substitute Jordan Rhodes right in front of goal. He managed to hook the ball into the back of the net to give them a lifeline. It is Blackpool 1, Birmingham 2.
Extra time, Kettering Doncaster. That finished 1-1 after 90 minutes. Lissandro Martinez forward to Dalot. Match of the day 2 tonight. BBC 1 at half-10. Always available on the iPlayer after that as well. Already 4 goals in the Premier League games this afternoon, 2 of them for Manchester United and 2 of them for Chelsea. So are Manchester United going to get that first Premier League win for Ruben Amorim?
Well, they've got a look about them just now. Everybody wants the ball now, don't they? And little tricks and flicks are coming out as well. There was a brilliant moment down the corner where Bruno Fernandes had his Ashley Young 1-on-1, and he's done him with the most beautiful nutmeg. Thinks he should have got a penalty as well. Decent argument for it, but he didn't go to ground. Referee didn't give it. Yeah,
that's when Young came in for a second nibble. Goal in extra time at Kettering. Andy Giddings.
Kettering 1, Doncaster Rovers 2. Billy Sharp has stolen in another goal mouse scramble to fire home from 10 yards. Maybe, just maybe, there won't be an upset today. Kettering 1, Doncaster Rovers 2.
2 minutes of added time here at Old Trafford. Qatar Grand Prix this afternoon, by the way, if you're a Formula 1 fan. Coverage from 3:45 on Sports Extra. 2:15 right now. 4 o'clock kickoff at Anfield. We've got full commentary of Liverpool against Manchester City. Old Trafford's pretty quiet at the moment. Everyone's getting ready to shuffle out for the half-time nourishment as Pickford plays a pass into the Everton midfield. Gay strokes it forward to Doucouré, back to Branthwaite. Branthwaite across to Gay. Lindstrom starts to make a run in from the right. Gay decides to go sideways to Tarkowski. Tarkowski is chased by Fernandes. Back it goes to Branthwaite, under pressure from Rashford. High and long he goes down the left and slices it. How to play for a Manchester United throw.
A little bit less control from Everton now, just back to front there. Yeah, Beto will chase it, but it needs to be a better ball than that. And the link-up play that was happening between McNeil and Beto isn't happening anymore. Whereas you look at Xerxes, confidence oozing out of him, and Bruno Fernandes, he's beginning to find the spaces now. And you hardly mentioned his name in the first 20 minutes or so. However, look at him now. He is loving it out there.
He's striding around in the centre circle. Now he makes a run through the middle of the pitch, and Casemiro fires a long ball downfield. The offside flag is up against Ahmad, who was also chasing. That's been on a bit actually this afternoon, hasn't it? But Ahmad getting away down that right hand
it's
side.
Neat actually what they do is because Xerxes plays as centre forward, but he's always quick to come deep, and if the defenders come with them, it leaves a space.
That was a rumbustious centre forward play from Beto. Pickford went with a quick free kick up to the edge of the box. Beto lined his man De Ligt up, sort of challenged for the ball, but absolutely smashed into the centre back, and that's a Manchester United free kick.
How old school was that?
Yeah.
De Ligt said, all right, you hit me, I'll get up again and go and win a game. No complaints, take it, give it.
I watched Liam Delap, so he's 21 years old, the Ipswich centre forward this season, Pat, do that at the start of the second half against Tottenham against Christian Romero. So from kick-off, just went charging downfield, had no intention to play the ball, just wanted to put one on Romero. But I thought for a 21-year-old, that is some confidence. Anyway, you might have just heard the half-time whistle blow in the background there. Manchester United lead Everton 2-0. Rashford and Xerxes with the goals. So what have we made of the latest 45 minutes we've seen under Ruben Amorim, Pat?
I have to say, I think this place went very, very quiet up until the first goal. Beautifully worked from a corner kick, obviously straight through the training ground. So well done the coaching staff and the manager for organising that. And as soon as that happened, Everton, who were slightly, from my mind, the better team, they just fell out of it. And the confidence just soared in this place, and it soared from the stands as well as on the pitch as well. But the manager won't be scammed by that. Until that happened, they weren't playing that well. However, after that, lots of space. They look by far the better side, Manchester United, and probably in the end deserved that second goal.
Bit of chuntering going on from Bruno Fernandes in conversation with Illiman and Jai as they head down the tunnel here at Old Trafford. Manchester United at half-time heading for a first Premier League win under Ruben Amorim. They lead Everton by 2-0.
Ali, Pat, thank you very much. Second half on the way. Of course, we'll go around the other Premier League games shortly, but listen to this scoreline in the second round of the FA Cup. Andy Stevenson.
Reading 0, Harbour Town 1, and Harbour of the 7th tier have taken the lead after 17 minutes. It's Freddie Robinson at the back post getting his head on a looping corner that went over everybody except him. 3,000 fans away to my right have gone potty. Reading 0, Harbour Town 1.
Next to Julia Bold watching Blackpool Birmingham.
It is Blackpool 1, Birmingham 2, and after Steve Bruce decided to make 4 changes to his struggling side at half-time, they've come much more back into the game. Jordan Rhodes, who came off the bench, has put them back in it, but it remains Blackpool 1, Birmingham 2.
Hey, looks like the shock is not going to happen at Kettering. Andy Giddings.
Well, at the minute, we are in the second half of added time. Doncaster Rovers lead by 2-1. Billy Sharp putting Doncaster Rovers in front in the 105th minute of football. Kettering have tired, but they've been terrific for the most part throughout. But Billy Sharp at the double, cancelling out a strike on the half hour from Isaiah Noel Williams, has it Kettering 1, Doncaster Rovers 2.
Harborough's lead didn't last long, Andy.
No, Reading have equalised almost immediately. It's such a scrappy goal for Harborough to concede. I think it might have been Mamadi Kamara who got the final touch, but it was one of those where the ball was bouncing around in the area. Reading have equalised, it's 1-1.
And the other FA Cup tie underway at the moment. Burton Albion against Tamworth. Tom Gale.
Goalless, Mark. 20 minutes gone. League One versus National League. We've already seen several Tonks long throws for the visitors.
Go on, do that again. We've already seen
Tonks.
what?
Tom Tonks, yeah, the man with the long throw. But the best chance has fallen to the host. Their number 9, Danilo Orsi, blazed over from 7 yards out following good work from Godwin Malif. We played 20 minutes, Burton 0, Tamworth 0.
Yeah, his long throws are incredible, aren't they? I mean, he can launch it 40 yards or so.
It's as good as a corner, Mark, to be honest with you.
Absolutely. All the highlights from the FA Cup second round, BBC 2, 6 o'clock this evening. Third round draw on BBC 2 and 5 Live from 7 o'clock. Tomorrow evening, back to the Premier League. Manchester United 2-0 up on Everton. And at Tottenham, Aaron Paul?
0-0 here, really entertaining, but no goals to report, Mark. It's the tale of two goalkeepers. Spurs, man between the sticks, Fraser Forster, in for Guillermo Vicaria, has been magnificent, pulling off 2 genuine world-class saves. First up, getting a big paw to a Raul Jimenez shot from 6 yards out, and then minutes later, tipping an Alex Iwobi pile driver onto the crossbar. Bernd Leno, he's also been kept busy, saving with his feet from Heung-min Son inside the first minute. Radu Dragusin saw a powerful header beaten away by the German, while James Maddison has clipped the bottom of the post of the free kick. We're really lacking quality in the final third from both sides. That's why at the break it is Spurs 0, Fulham 0.
Well, Reading weren't level for long, Andy Stevenson.
This is unbelievable. Harborough have taken the lead again. Riley O'Sullivan, a really smart finish with his left foot from close range. We've had 3 goals in 4 first half minutes. It's Reading 1, Harbour Town 2.
As things stand, Chelsea going third in the Premier League. Sahel Sahi.
And they've been very impressive, Mark. Half-time, Chelsea 2, Aston Villa 0. The first goal, chief creator, he was Mark Cucurella. Too strong for Philogene. Quick 1-2 with Jadon Sancho. And then he found Jackson, who finished off the post. Watkins, he should have equalised for Villa. His effort was poor and straight at Robert Sanchez. Chelsea had an indirect free kick 7 yards away, which was blocked by a scrambling Martinez and Pau Torres. And then the second that Chelsea's play deserved came when Cole Palmer picked out Enzo Fernandez. He flicked it up to himself and smashed it past his international teammate and goalkeeper Emi Martinez. Half-time, Chelsea 2, Aston Villa 0.
Earlier in the Scottish Premiership, finished St Johnstone 0, Rangers 1. Hearts against Aberdeen is a 3 o'clock kickoff. There is one game in the Scottish Cup this afternoon. Dundee North End 0, Airdrieonians 1, midway through the second half. Coming up to 23 minutes past 2, John Barnes has the news.
The voice of the UK.
This is BBC Radio 5 Live.
The MasterChef presenter Greg Wallace has responded to allegations of historic misconduct with a post on Instagram. In the video, he said he'd worked with thousands of contestants and the claims had been made by what he called a handful of middle-class women of a certain age. His lawyers have previously said the allegations are false. The TV presenter Kirsty Allsop has worked with Mr Wallace.
He came out this morning and said this thing about middle-aged, middle-class women. That is unacceptable because he is essentially saying this is a class issue and middle-class women don't understand the type of things he says because he's working class. Well, I'm sorry, but he is doing an incredible disservice to men.
Police has arrested a man on suspicion of rape at one of London's most famous private members' clubs. The Groucho in Soho had its licence suspended last month. A 20-year-old man from Essex has died after being found injured in a hotel lift shaft in Turkey. Tyler Carey's body was discovered on Friday morning. Belgium has become the first country in the world to give sex workers the same labour rights as other employees. They're now entitled to health insurance, pensions, sick days and maternity leave. And the Shetland pony called Phoenix, whose life hung in the balance after he was shot in the leg, has made a full recovery. Police believe he was shot with a BB gun in Bournemouth last month. No arrests have been made.
Radio 1 Dance.
From From drum and bass to house and everything in between. I'm Pete Tong, celebrating dance music in its many forms and looking back at where some of dance music's most iconic genres began.
Pete Tong's Essential History of Dance.
Avicii, who was the first DJ you really got to see play?
You know what? I think it was you.
Oh, there you go.
Radio 1. Dance.
Listen by searching Pete Tong's Essential History of Dance on BBC Sounds.
This is 5 Live Sport.
With Mark Chapman.
Listen on BBC Sounds.
Back to Old Trafford shortly, where Manchester United lead Everton by 2-0, and then from 4 o'clock we'll be at Anfield for Liverpool against Manchester City. The Qatar Grand Prix this afternoon will be on Sports Extra from around 3:45. Our commentator Harry Benjamin joins us now, and George Russell will be on pole, Harry.
Yeah, absolutely. Although he didn't qualify there initially, it was Max Verstappen in the Red Bull, now the 4-time champion, who took pole position in yesterday's quali session, but then was given a one-place grid penalty late into the evening, and that was because he was deemed to have been driving unnecessarily slowly during one of his slow laps in qualifying, which impeded George Russell, and as a result the stewards gave him a one-place grid drop. So Russell now starts on pole alongside Max Verstappen, but the Red Bull really did bounce back after a poor sprint race as well, gearing up for the penultimate Grand Prix of the season under the lights in Qatar.
And you have Russell's Mercedes teammate Lewis Hamilton further down.
Yeah, he starts down in 6th behind the Ferrari of Charles Leclerc, and Hamilton's been really off this weekend, coming out with comments saying, I really don't care, I'm definitely not fast. He feels like a man who is dejected. He moves to Ferrari next year, and it really does feel like that relationship has run its course now between Mercedes and Lewis Hamilton. He's been outclassed by his teammate George Russell this season, especially when it comes to qualifying. Let's see what he can do though from 6th. It will be a fierce fight out there. It is tight out in front. All eyes though will be on the two McLarens to see if they can secure the Constructors' Championship. That'll be a huge feat for the Woking team.
Thank you, Harry. So Harry and the team on Sports Extra from 3:45. If you want the snooker this afternoon, the UK Snooker Championship final, then that is on BBC One. Judd Trump against Barry Hawkins, Jamie Broughton.
And it's advantage for the world number one, Judd Trump, at the moment. He took the opening frame with a break of 73. There were chances for both players in frame 2. Hawkins took it with a break of 116. Trump then responded to go 2-1 up, and he's just had the first big break in this frame 4. He's made a break of 69. Hawkins, though, back at the table again, though, here. 4 frames in this sort of first mini-session. Obviously, Hawkins needs to stay with Trump. He can't afford to let him get away, no matter how tired he feels after that 1 a.m. semi-final finish in the early hours of this morning. 10 is the magic number to be crowned champion.
There's a mid-table battle in the Championship this afternoon. Derby against Sheffield Wednesday. Nick Hatton.
Hello, Mark. Yes, it's 15th at home to 13th. A chance for Derby to leapfrog today's visitors with a win, or Wednesday can extend their lead over the Rams to 5 points in this mid-table tussle. Both sides, though, the epitome of inconsistency at the moment. Derby with 2 draws and 2 defeats in their last 5. Wednesday have fared better, though, of late, with 2 wins in that period, the last coming in that 2-0 victory at Hull City on Tuesday. Wednesday looking for back-to-back league wins for the first time this season, while Derby haven't won at home since the 5th of October. Team news-wise, Derby boss Paul Wall makes 4 changes to the starting lineup. It includes the return of top scorer Jerry Yates up front. For Wednesday, they make 3. Amongst them, top scorer Josh Windass drops to the bench.
One FA Cup second round match still to kick off. This one gets underway at 3:15. National League Solihull Moors against the side who were in the National League last season but are now in League 2. Bromley, Chris Coles.
And a piece of genuine FA Cup history on offer for the winner. A place in the 3rd round for the very first time. And talking of history, these two have it, Mark. Yes, a repeat of last season's National League playoff final at Wembley. Bromley seeing off Solihull Moors on penalties to take their place in the Football League. And it wouldn't be too surprising if spot kicks were needed again, given the relatively small gap between the two in the pyramid. Damson Park bathed in winter sunshine. A good couple of thousand expected at this tight ground for what should be a really competitive FA Cup tie.
Thank you, Chris. Let's go to Tynecastle next. Bottom of the table, Hearts at home to Aberdeen in second. Kenny Crawford.
Yeah, Mark, real test of character for both sides in the Scottish capital. Hearts have sunk to the very bottom of the Premiership after rivals Hibs won comfortably at Motherwell yesterday. Neil Critchley's made 5 changes as they chase only their 3rd league win of the season, but it's who's stayed in the starting 11 getting chins wagging here. Striker and skipper Lawrence Shanklin begins the match again despite only 1 goal in 20 games this campaign, and after he skied a penalty over against Cercle Bruges midweek. As for Aberdeen, a tough last 7 days, defeat at St Mirren and a draw at Hibs. The Dons now 5 points behind Celtic at the top. Former Rotherham and Swindon defender Angus MacDonald comes into a backline that's looked fairly shaky recently.
Let's go to Anfield. 4 o'clock kickoff this afternoon. Liverpool against Manchester City. John Murray already in position at what I would imagine at this stage is a very calm Anfield.
Well, you say that.
I do.
Well, you do say that. But, having been here on Wednesday night for the visit of Real Madrid, which was absolutely packed, everyone on the administrative side here tells me it's even busier for this match in terms of global interest. All of the TV crews, I think there are crews from 30 different countries here. The media areas were absolutely packed. But in actual fact, you're right. So far, there's only a smattering of spectators inside the ground, but it promises so much, doesn't it, this match? And I don't know about you, I feel because of the fact there is actually such a big gap between them, it makes it more intriguing than it does if they were neck and neck.
Yeah, well, absolutely, because as we spent a lot of time discussing earlier on, who knows how City approach this?
Yeah, and what, is he going to try and do something differently? Is Diaz going to be fit? And we're going to find this out in about 15 minutes time when the teams are announced. Is he going to do something that Arne Slot might not necessarily expect, as he was suggesting on Friday? And also for Liverpool, if Bradley and Konate are not in the team, as we're very much expecting, who is going to play there? Is he going to bring Kwanzaa in? I presume it'll be Trent Alexander-Arnold at right back. And also, would he make a change in midfield, or would he go with the same midfield that played against Real Madrid? But
that's the beauty he has. He has options.
Exactly that. Yeah, he's got the options. Is this a match for Szoboszlai? Or, I thought they played so well, the 3 the other night, McAllister and Gravenberch and Jones. Does he go with the same 3?
You're asking a lot of questions there.
I am, and in about 15 minutes I'll have the answers.
Right, we will be back in 15 minutes to John Murray at Anfield. Liverpool against Manchester City. Dion Dublin will be alongside him for that. Elsewhere in the Premier League so far, in the half-one games on the BBC Sport website and app, you can listen to Tottenham and Fulham, which is goalless. Chelsea and Aston Villa is on Sports Extra, with Enzo Maresca's side leading by 2-0, and the home side are also 2 to the good at Old Trafford. Manchester United against Everton. Let's go back to Patton Alley.
Yes, Manchester United's players just making their way back onto the field here at Old Trafford. There was an organised, choreographed, coordinated sort of team line-up down by the byline away to our left and sprint sort of 10-20 yards onto the pitch, looking together, feeling together, leading Everton by 2-0. And as you said, actually, Pat, in the second half, slightly unusually, they'll be attacking the east stand away to our right rather than the Stretford end away to our left.
I mean, for many years I've been saying I have no idea why all away teams don't do that. Yeah. Mess with their heads, be it Anfield, be it Old Trafford, be it Stamford Bridge.
Just briefly seen a banner go up in the Stretford end away to our left-hand side, which simply said, "Stop exploiting loyalty," and that is to do with ticket prices here at Old Trafford. I'll tell you more in a second. Here's Amad Diallo immediately on the attack for Manchester United. Great run from Rashford, and it's in! Pickford got a touch, but he couldn't keep it out of the back of the net. 20 seconds played in the second half, and Marcus Rashford has his 3rd goal under Ruben Amorim. Everton caught sleeping right after the break, and surely Manchester United are heading for the first league win under the new boss. Manchester United 3, Everton 0.
Do you know, Marcus Rashford at his very, very best, his speed is stunning, but how often do you see it? Well, you saw it there. It was a brilliant run. Yeah, he knows he's got a teammate that's going to spot him when he makes that run in an inside forward position, but he flies through. You're right, it's only 20 seconds from the start of the second half. Everton have tried to go forward with it, but they're broken very, very quickly. And I suppose the manager will think, yeah, this is working. We've got a 3-4-3. Ahmad on the right-hand side has been great. He cuts in and he just waits for that run by Marcus Rashford. So superb run, great pace, great timing, and a calm finish.
Producer Rob reminded me he does like scoring a goal against Everton. 6 in 8 for Marcus Rashford against Everton. Ruben Amorim will be delighted to see that sort of Marcus Rashford early on in his time in charge, and Manchester United fans know that sort of Marcus Rashford really well. He looks really up for it now. He's gone herring past Ahmad on the right-hand side. Ahmad in possession in the inside right channel. In the end decides not to use that run, and Manchester United start to knock the ball around, but they are very comfortable now, Pat, leading 3-0.
Well, you think about the effect that Ahmad's had. I often say if you play 3-4-3 or any of the systems that have got two wide midfielders, they are the most important players. They have got to do at least 2 jobs. They are vital to it. Ahmad's been brilliant today. He's made one and arguably made 2 because he won the ball when he did against Brunswick as well. He's been very special.
2 minutes into the second half, Manchester United leading 3-0. Beto on the move for Everton, trying to run past challenges. The ball deflects away from him, and Bruno Fernandes cushions a header back towards Matthias de Ligt. Xerxes is fouled. Manchester United will get the free kick. FA Cup second round, full time at Kettering. Andy Giddings.
Kettering 1, Doncaster Rovers 2. It's how it's finished here. No upset in the end. There might have been on the half hour when youngster Isaiah Noel Williams pounced to score from 20 yards out, but Billy Sharp doesn't miss much from close range. He scored on 75 minutes to take the game into extra time and won it with 105 minutes on the clock. Kettering 1, Doncaster Rovers 2.
Elsewhere, Birmingham 2-1 up at Blackpool. They're into the last 15 minutes there. Burton and Tamworth still goalless. They played half an hour there. And a really good story developing at Reading as well. Reading 1, Harborough 2. Solihull Moors against Bromley in the FA Cup. Kicks off at 3:15. Manchester United then leading Everton by 3-0. A win will take them to 19 points. Tottenham currently 0-0 against Fulham. Oh, they've given it away. Ahmad, and then he drags McNeil back. I thought McNeil could still get away from Amad Diallo there, but he decided to go to ground. He's won the free kick 25 yards out in a central position. And it's Mainu who has committed the foul. Thank you, Pat. Well spotted.
Yeah, to be honest, despise this phrase, but that's a great foul. Because he's away and he knows he has to take it. He's in and goal. He's still got a player in front of him. I mean, he's got De Ligt to beat there, but he's lost control of the ball. He's just taken one for, well, not just the team, but for himself as well, because it was his own mistake. However, free kick, 30-ish yards there.
Yeah.
Maybe just slightly less than that. Pretty central.
So Lindstrom is there, Ashley Young is there, Mikalenko is there. Surprised Dwight McNeil is not there. Takes a lot of the set pieces for Everton. Jesper Lindstrom is the 24-year-old Dane on loan from Napoli, yet to score for Everton. Is he going to do it at Old Trafford to get them back into the game? Right-footed hit, the wall jumps. Might have been Xerxes who got a header on that. The ball's gone flying away to the left. Dalot just about keeps it in play after his first touch. Cleared down the left-hand side. The ball is loose just outside the Manchester United penalty area. Doucouré nods it forward. Beto with strength knocks Casemiro off the ball and then shoots from a tight angle. But that's actually been given as a foul from Beto on Bruno Fernandes. Manchester United 3, Everton 0. Stamford Bridge, latest early stages second half. Chelsea Villa, Sahel Sahi.
We've just got underway, still Chelsea 2, Aston Villa 0, but there's been a half-time change in goals for Aston Villa. Robin Olsen replacing Emi Martinez. We believe Martinez got injured when he played the pass to Jackson, and Jackson with a heavy touch gave it back to Martinez. It was a 50-50 challenge there, but we believe Martinez's wrist was injured in that challenge. Just a minute played in the second half. McGinn's had an effort, Sanchez saved. Chelsea 2, Aston Villa 0.
Commentary of that one on Sports Extra. Foul there on Beto. Beto was racing clear. Lisandro Martinez has caught him, and the referee immediately has given a yellow card. Everton get another free kick. Similar distance, 30-35 yards or so in the inside right channel. And Lisandro Martinez looks absolutely aghast. Pat Nevins looking at the replay.
Do you know what? He should get an Oscar for that. I believed him. He just looked as if he'd done nothing at all. And then you see it in the slow motion replay. He's put his hand across. He knew exactly what he was doing. Correct yellow card by the referee. Tell you what, great. great armed rams, it has to be said, for Martin. Is superb.
Absolutely. Free kick, Everton. Early stages, second half at Old Trafford. John Murray will be with us shortly to bring us the team news from Anfield. We've got full commentary on Liverpool, Manchester City at 4 o'clock. Another free kick then. Lindstrom's had one-sighted with his right foot, which was headed away by the wall. He runs over this one. McNeil curls the ball into the far post. Tarkowski's header across goal. Doucouré lays it off. Lindstrom's shot, that's blocked inside the Manchester United box. And the ball runs here to Mazraoui, who's got a bit of space to work with on the right. Chips a little ball up towards the halfway line. Ahmad, little cushioned ball back towards Mainu. Volleyed back towards Ahmad again. Manchester United can't keep it. Everton have it with Mikalenko deep inside their own half. They have a lot to do in this second half, having not scored, of course, in their last 3 games. The defeat against Southampton, the 0-0 draws against West Ham and Brentford. Tarkowski with the diagonal finds Mikalenko, nods it down. Mazraoui's there to intercept before it reaches McNeil. He's then tackled. It'll be a throw-in for Manchester United. Tottenham-Fulham latest, Aaron Paul.
Spurs 0, Fulham 0. The visitors so close to going ahead. Issa Diop arriving late at the back post. Ball right in from deep. And Fraser Forster just cushioning the header away. With Forster with another brilliant save, smothering an opportunity from Iwobi. Fulham knocking at that door, but that first chance from Issa Diop, saved by the knees of Forster. And Iwobi with sort of an acrobatic scissor kick, trying to pop it over his head. Forster there to smother the ball and then claim it at the second attempt. Spurs kind of on the ropes here. Fulham pushing for an opener. Spurs 0, Fulham 0.
Changes coming from Manchester United. I think Harry Maguire might be coming on soon. He's certainly taken the bib off and looks ready to go. He's sat back down at the moment in the Manchester United dugout. And Jai with tricks on the left. The cross is blocked by Mazraoui and it goes behind for a corner to Everton. Manchester United 3, Everton 0. Pat
Do you know
Nevin.
what? Everton still, they're not doing too badly. They actually, it's the weirdest thing. They're 3-0 down. They're playing with a little bit of confidence, a much more open game than I've seen them playing of late. And although we do keep on saying the final ball's not been good enough and they're not scoring enough goals and they're not creating the chances they should do from the positions they get into, do you know, they don't look like a bad team out there.
I think Luke Shaw is getting ready to come on for Manchester United as well. Some darker clouds threatening in the sky above. McNeil's delivery into the near post, volleyed up in the air by Ahmad. Second volley from Martinez. The ball goes high into the air, bounces. Ashley Young heads it forwards, but straight at Ahmad. Ahmad releases Rashford. Rashford bursting away down the right. He was thinking about an early shot there, then saw Pickford was getting back on his line. Skill from Rashford, shots deflected, the ball bounces in the Everton box and Pickford is able to grab it and Mikalenko is down hurt, so we're going to have a slight stoppage here. The referee pointing to his head as if to say Mikalenko's taken a whack in the head.
Yeah, he's got up a little bit quicker than I thought he was going to be. He seemed to be in some distress, but he made the tackle he had to make there. But it just shows you when Marcus Rashford fancies it. By the way, how clever was he to get back on side there, run back into his own half. And do you know, for about 10 or 15 minutes in the first half, you weren't seeing that from Marcus. You weren't seeing the chasing the ball. It was a bit laboured. And then he scores his goal, the first goal. And since then, he's been on fire. He's been electric.
And what Amorim will want, because Rasmus Højlund scored 2 good goals against Bodo Glimt on Thursday night, is everyone pushing each other. Rashford looking in good form, Højlund scoring goals when he plays.
The weirdest thing, I mean, every manager wants that. Every manager wants to get that. That's what they're trying to do. But they first of all have to get at least one of them playing very, very well, so as it lifts the other one. But it takes a team thing, and I think that's what Amorim knows just now. It means every single player has to have that level of work rate, and certainly for about 30 minutes or so, Rashford, along with Amad Diallo, has looked like the best player on the field.
Luke Shaw and Harry Maguire about to come on for Manchester United. Once they do, I will then take you through the 2 team lineups, which I realise I've not done since the start of the second half because there's been so much going on. So Matthijs de Ligt will get a rest here for Manchester United. Harry Maguire will replace him. And while Manchester United make the changes, I'm hearing there's been a breakthrough at Tottenham. Aaron Paul.
Deadlock broken against the runner play. Spurs 1, Fulham 0. Timo Werner with the ball across goal, and every single Fulham defender just stood and watched and turned their backs as it fell to Brennan Johnson, catching the ball gorgeously on the volley, sweeping it past Bernd Leno. Great finish. Spurs 1, Fulham 0.
Thank you, Aaron. Mazraoui, the other player to come off for Manchester United. Luke Shaw comes on to replace him. So he goes left-sided centre-back, Maguire the middle of the three, and Lisandro Martinez, Pat, over to the right-hand side of the three.
And it's lovely to have that adaptability that you can say, Martinez, you play central, you play left, you play right, comfortable with you in any of those positions. That position, I think, suits Luke Shaw at the moment, the left centre-back of a three. I think he's capable of playing that position, but he needs to calm himself from going forward a little bit. On the other hand, you've taken two of your centre-backs off, and the one you left on is the one that's on a yellow card, which is unusual.
Yeah. Anana's got the ball at his feet for Manchester United. Marcus Rashford's very early goal in the second half, about 20 seconds into the second half, has them 3-0 in front. As a commentator, you've really got to concentrate at the start of each half for Manchester United games with Ruben Amorim in charge, because they like an early goal. There's another yellow card. This one's for Idrissa Gueye. Ahmad was wriggling his way across the halfway line. He's eventually been felled by Gueye right under the nose of referee John Brooks, and that'll be a yellow card for Gueye. So Rashford scored after 82 seconds against Ipswich last weekend. I think it was about 48 seconds for the Garnacho goal against Bodo Glimt on Thursday, and then 20 seconds into the second half of this game to get the third against Everton. Chelsea-Villa continues. Commentary over on Sports Extra. Tottenham-Fulham, with Tottenham now 1-0 up against Fulham. Commentary of that one via the BBC Sport website and app. Highlights of all the games. Match of the Day 2, BBC 1 at 10:30. And the Premier League review on the BBC Sounds app. Darren Fletcher hosting that this season to round everything up for you. Reaction analysis, etc., etc. Will be on the BBC Sounds app late tonight and first thing tomorrow morning. Anana's ball across his own penalty area to Martinez. A little bit of a lull in the game at the moment. 12 minutes gone in the second half, Pat.
That's absolutely fine control from Manchester United. Some teams get to 3-0 up and they want 4 or 5. Like Arsenal were looking for against West Ham, but no need to push it now. You just play at your own pace, relaxed about it. But if there are certain players that are out there, Rashford, he wants a hat-trick, right? He really wants a hat-trick. Højlund, he wants to get on here because he knows there's possibility of goals in there as well. So yeah, they're playing control, but they would also like to make some sort of statement about this game, and it's the real arrival in many ways of the new manager.
Anana's in goal then. Martinez now is the right-sided centre-back. Shaw on the left of the three. Maguire in the middle. Ahmad and Dalot, the two wing-backs. Dalot on the ball right now, playing one through for Bruno Fernandes at full speed. Up against Pickford, came off his line quickly. Got a block on the ball. Pickford's got to get back to his goal line here. It's run away to the left. Fernandes already looking for an opportunity. Finds Mainu. Now Xerxes. Fernandes again passes into the Everton box, but can't find a teammate. And it ends up with Jordan Pickford. So Ahmad and Dalot, the wing-backs. Casemiro and Mainu, who's on a yellow card in central midfield. Bruno Fernandes, Joshua Xerxes and Marcus Rashford complete the lineup. Half-time in the FA Cup second round. One of the 2 o'clock kickoffs. Burton Tamworth. Tom Gale.
Burton 0, Tamworth 0. Ali, just one effort on target. Came from the League One host. Billy Bodin, edge of the box. Chopped past one defender. Shot low and gathered well by keeper Jazz Singh. Burton 0, National League Tamworth 0 at half-time.
Best noise we've heard inside Old Trafford this afternoon. Fans enjoying themselves at the moment. Manchester United comfortably leading 3-0, half an hour to play. Here's the little figure of Idrissa Gueye for Everton, his blue shirt untucked, just being ruffled in the breeze. Tarkowski plays across to Branthwaite here. Branthwaite forward to Doucouré. Sideways pass from him to Gueye. Xerxes in his way, comes back to Tarkowski, across to Young. Young faced up by Fernandes. And here's Tarkowski again. Through the Manchester United lines to find McNeil, but Manchester United comfortably holding their shape here. Tarkowski's on the ball just inside the United half, looking up, looking for the pass forward to Lindstrom, back to Tarkowski. Tarkowski closed down by Fernandes, turns into his own half. Fernandes still interested. Tarkowski comes all the way back to Pickford.
Well, you mentioned there about the fact that he's quite calm and slowed it down, Manchester United, and it makes perfect sense. Yeah, you want to be entertained and you want more goals. Is it 9 games in December?
Yeah.
Seriously, you have to understand there are times if there's a possibility to conserve a bit of energy, you do it. And that's what Manchester United are certainly, one or two of the players are doing just now.
5 Live has commentary on Manchester United's next 3 games in the Premier League. The first of those away at Arsenal on Wednesday night. Then they're at home against Nottingham Forest. That is a Saturday 5:30 next weekend. And then they're away to Manchester City after that, and 5 Live has commentary of all 3 of those Premier League games. Manchester United leading 3-0. Free kick conceded on the edge of their own penalty area, though. And Everton get ready to take it. Might take a little while to line this up, so I'll tell you what, let's get to Anfield. Manchester United leading comfortably here. John Murray has the team news ahead of the big one, Liverpool against Manchester City. John.
Yeah, confirmation that Konate and Bradley are out for Liverpool, so it is Alexander-Arnold and Gomez who come in. So the Liverpool team, Kelleher in goal, Alexander-Arnold, Gomez, Van Dijk and Robertson. Change in midfield though from Wednesday. Jones is on the bench, Szoboszlai starts, so Gravenberch with Szoboszlai and McAllister, and then Salah, Gakpo and Diaz. So Núñez is among the substitutes as well. And for Manchester City, Pep Guardiola, what does he do? He makes a change in goal. Ortega starts, Ederson's on the bench. At the back, Walker, Akanji, Diaz and Ake, so Gvardiol also among the substitutes. In midfield, Lewis, Gundogan, Matthias Núñez, then Bernardo Silva, Foden and Haaland. So Kevin De Bruyne again among the substitutes, as is Jeremy Doku as he comes back.
Cannot wait to listen to that. It is currently 10-3, so it's an hour and 10 minutes away. Dion Dublin alongside John Murray at Anfield for Liverpool against Manchester City. We've still not got to the Everton free kick back.
No, they're going to take it, and somewhat surprisingly, Lindstrom again.
Yeah.
I mean, he's taken 2 so far. The first one, he melted it. He really caught it well, but it hit the wall. Let's see if he can do any better this time.
25 yards out, pretty central. Lindstrom with his right foot straight into the wall.
I mean, that's a real confidence you've got as a new-ish player, shoving everyone else aside.
I'm good at these, lads. Watch this. McNeil's ball into that Manchester United penalty area. Shaw does well to head that away. He was running back towards his own goal off balance. Got good power on the header. And it's run to Ahmad wide on the right. 17 minutes gone in the second half. Rashford comes chasing to try and win a ball for Manchester United. Oh, Ahmad's done well. He's taken it off Tarkowski's toes. It's 2-on-1. He's got Xerxes to his left. Xerxes gets his second goal of the game. Manchester United have their 4th, and they are ripping Everton apart. Manchester United 4, Everton 0.
I mean, it's brilliant. Ahmad Diallo, I don't know who's going to get man of the match, but I want to give it to him. I think what his manager will say is, that's how I want my team to play. Closing down, chasing lost causes. Anyone takes a touch on the ball, you're right down the throat. And he's done it there again. And it's led to nothing more than a tap-in for Xerxes. And he's played the right pass at the right time. He's made such a difference. Look, dreadful defender again, yes, from Everton. This time it's Tarkowski caught in the ball, and you can't do that against half-decent players, but well done to all.
So a first home league game for Ruben Amorim, and it couldn't really be going much better. Manchester United fans cock-a-hoop around us here. They lead Everton by 4-0. Xerxes has 2. Bit of a story developing in the FA Cup second round this afternoon at Reading. Reading are playing Harborough. Andy Stevenson's watching it.
It's Reading 1, Harborough 2, the lowest ranked side left in the FA Cup, ahead after a first half that burst into life with 3 goals in 4 minutes. Freddie Robinson gave Harborough Town the lead with a header at the back post. Then they fell asleep, allowed Mamadi Camara to equalise almost immediately, but just moments later it was Reading's turn to switch off. Riley O'Sullivan finishing smartly, putting Harborough back in front. Reading 1, Harborough Town 2.
5 substitutions on the way here at Old Trafford, which is always a commentator's nightmare. 2 coming for Manchester United and 3 for Everton. Orel Mangala's going to be coming on for Idrissa Gueye. Calvert-Lewin's going to be coming on for Beto, and Jack Harrison coming on for Lindstrom. So Sean Dyche has seen enough of the Lindstrom free kicks, Pat Nevin. And Manuel Ugarte is coming on for Bruno Fernandes, so he's going to get a bit of a rest. Very busy fixture schedule, as Pat was saying, throughout December. And the other Manchester United change is going to see Garnacho come on. And who is he going to come on for? He's going to come on for Casemiro. So there we go, 5 all dealt with. Pat's scribbling it all down. I'll keep an eye on it as it happens. 5 Live and BBC Sounds. 5 Live's Premier League Sunday. And Manchester United fans feeling very good about life at the moment, Pat. Ruben Amorim keeps telling us, don't get too excited too early. A lot of hard work ahead. It's Arsenal away next Wednesday, but they've been ruthless here today, haven't they?
They have, you know, and certainly there have been mistakes, at least 2. You could argue 3 big mistakes from that Everton defence, which they haven't been doing lately, but they've done it today. But when you get a new manager coming in, yes, 3rd game, however, home game, Premier League, this feels like the day. A lot of people have come up and said, is this going to be a rebirth of Manchester United? Right, 4-0, played well, but don't get carried away. And that's the words that he will say.
Yeah.
But having said that, they're enjoying it, aren't they, these United fans, particularly up that Stretford end, which has actually suddenly become very noisy.
Yeah.
After being quiet for a long time.
I mentioned the banner as well, Pat, right at the start of the second half. So there's a certain number of tickets, not the season tickets, but prices have been hiked. And I heard discussion about this week. And loyal Manchester United fans who feel they're being priced out here are making that point that, you know, Manchester United, like all football clubs, to try and sort of meet the PSR regulations and guidelines or whatever, are trying to make money each which and every way. But that doesn't seem a particularly clever move from the club on that part. It's been very unpopular. There were protests ahead of the game against Bodo Glimt on Thursday night. I think there were meant to be some today as well, actually.
Yeah, certainly at half-time there was a huge banner up. And noticeable that the FSA, Football Supporters Association, are strongly behind it as well. But let's underline, it's not just Manchester United.
Manchester United trying to break on Everton here, 4-0 up. Garnacho's gone down on the halfway line. Another yellow card for an Everton player. This one is Ashley Young. Everton getting thumped. It's going to be 1 win in 7 games for Everton. And at the moment, they're heading towards 4 games without a goal. Although in the first half here, they did have chances.
Yeah, and it's kind of odd, though, because I've watched Everton a few times this season and thought they've been awful. And they've been horrible to watch. And no pleasure in watching them. And I suppose Sean Dyche might say to you, well, we played a wee bit more open today. Look what happened.
Yeah.
And you understand that thinking.
Well, they have a horrible fixture list to come. So they play Wolves at Goodison Park next Wednesday. Every single Premier League game next Wednesday available as a commentary either via 5 Live, Sports Extra or the website and app. So if you want to listen to Everton Wolves next Wednesday, you'll be able to do that via the website and app as Rashford nearly strokes a fabulous ball through to Garnacho. That's intercepted. Another goal at Tottenham, Aaron Paul.
Spurs 1, Fulham 1, fabulous equaliser from the substitute Tom Kearney. Alex Iwobi receiving the ball really quickly from Anthony Robinson at the byline. He's done so well to control it. Looked up, spotted Kearney, edge of the area, and he's let a rocket fly, and it's nestled into the top corner of Fraser Forster's net. 1-1, 67 played, game on.
Commentary of that game available this afternoon via the BBC Sport website and app. Chelsea Villa, still 2-0 Chelsea. That is on Radio 5 Sports Extra. But after that Wolves game for Everton, they go the Merseyside derby at Goodison Park, Arsenal away, Chelsea at home, Manchester City away, Nottingham Forest at home. It's a horror run.
Absolutely awful, and that's why they wanted to get something out of this game. They get the previous game at Southampton, particularly recently, they wanted something out of that. And you get the feeling Christmas time after that Everton could be in a very dodgy area, but the league doesn't finish at Christmas.
No. I've got a question for you about Christmas football in a second, Pat. Here's Mainu inside the Manchester United midfield. Lovely curling pass to release Garnacho. Garnacho hungry for action here, bringing the ball across the face of the Everton penalty area. The pass deflected, headed away by Mikalenko, and Jai onto the ball for Everton. Tackled by Ahmad, who's absolutely everywhere for Manchester United, and it goes out for an Everton throw. Full time in the FA Cup at Blackpool. Julia Bold.
It's finished Blackpool 1, Birmingham 2. The visitors been in control all afternoon despite 10 changes for this one. Lyndon Dykes and Lucas Djokovic's goals in the first half enough to go into round 3. The home side have been poor. Jordan Rhodes' goal after the break just a consolation. He was then subbed off with a head injury. It's finished Blackpool 1, Birmingham 2.
Third round draw live tomorrow night, 7 o'clock. BBC 2, you can watch it on there. It'll be part of the Monday Night Club. Mark Chapman will be hosting that. 2 hours of football chat with the team, followed by an hour of 5 live cricket. England's cricketers overnight winning that first test in New Zealand, beating them by 8 wickets. All the reaction and analysis in the Test Match special podcast available via the BBC Sounds app right now, which is where you can also find that brilliant interview with Ruben Amorim. I really do recommend that. Available in full. Mark Chapman sat down with him earlier this week and really sort of dug deep with Ruben Amorim as well on the sort of personality he is, what makes him tick, where he came from, who his inspirations are. Great listen, available right now on the BBC Sounds app. Garnacho trying to scamper away down the left, sliding challenge, stops him in his tracks, and the ball goes out for an Everton throw because the last touch came off Garnacho. Every single Manchester United player now, Pat, is just desperate to get involved.
Oh, loving it. There's such a joy. It almost feels like the first game of a new season. It really does get that feeling about it. There's a real joy about the place, and players are loving it. There's a lot of space out there. Everybody's confident. You're playing against a team now that know they're beaten. They haven't chucked it, but they're not going to go and try anything special against you. They just want to see the end of this game. But it is, when you're a footballer, these are the moments you can actually almost stop and enjoy them in the moment.
And Jai, good turn to get away from Martinez. He can't make any sort of challenges on a yellow card. And Jai sweeps a low pass out to the right. Ashley Young comes running towards it. Jack Harrison, one of the Everton subs, gets on the ball, lays it off to Doucouré. Just under 20 minutes to play here at Old Trafford. I think the end result is not in any doubt. Manchester United leading Everton by 4-0 in Amorim's first home league game in charge, so certainly a memorable one for him. 2 for Rashford, 2 for Xerxes. There were 2 for Højlund on Thursday night against Bodo Glimt. Here's McNeil for Everton, running away from would-be challengers, curls a pass out to Harrison, little step over, Dallow's there to block the cross, and the ball loops up high and goes out for a throw into Everton in an attacking position on the right. Manchester United 4, Everton 0. Nathan Patterson is just about to come on for Everton. This is an interesting one, Pat, because Patterson is yet to play any football for Everton this season. Scotland missed him during the Euros. Everton have missed him. First appearance of the season.
Yeah, and you wonder how much of it is the fact that Ashley Young has got a yellow card now. You can't take a chance to go down to 10 men at this point in time. But Patterson for Everton and indeed for Scotland, great to see him back.
Yeah, good to see Nathan Patterson back, and that is a nice reception for Ashley Young as well. Former Manchester United man, warmly applauded by the Manchester United fans as he makes way. Everton trailing Manchester United by 4-0. What's happening at Stamford Bridge? Sohail Sahi.
22 minutes to play here. Chelsea 2, Aston Villa 0. It's been a stop-start, scrappy second 45 minutes, but Nicholas Jackson has 2 moments for Chelsea. One, he blazed over the bar from the edge of the penalty area. The second one, he was played through, but he was met by an on-rushing Robin Olsen. Chelsea 2, Aston Villa 0.
Manchester United 4, Everton 0. Right, Christmas football question for you, Pat. When do you think football, top flight football, was last played on Christmas Day in this country?
Wow. Certainly, I'd go 60s.
Oh, it's good. Yeah, go on then.
60,
keep going.
68, 67.
Oh, 65. Good guess. 1965, Blackpool beat Blackburn by 4-2. Christmas Day 1965. I think that is one of the best facts of the days we have ever had. It was the last one that ever featured on Drive. The feature is now heading to late night Livesey, but that was the fact of the day. And John Murray, Ian Dennis and I all had a guess. We all guessed in the 60s, and I was the furthest away, which is why I have to mention it in the commentary, which I've done.
Well done. I can remember times in Christmas where we played 2 games in 2 days.
Yes, yeah.
I did do that.
Yeah. Sliding challenges missed in the Manchester United midfield. Doucouré driving forward for Everton, looks to slide in a ball to Njai, easily read by Martinez. Can Manchester United find a fifth? Can Xerxes or Rashford get themselves a hat-trick? Here's Ahmad to Rashford up the right-hand touchline, just inside the Manchester United half. Back to Martinez, 15 minutes to play. Rashford again charging away down the right. Martinez doesn't release the pass. Rashford's now going to get back onside. Xerxes holds onto it, 10 yards inside the Everton half, and back he comes to Ugarte.
It's been great watching Marcus Rashford making those runs beyond the centre-backs. There's been periods of time where that energy and that excitement in his play and that running power hasn't been on show often enough. Today, particularly in the second part of the game, it's been spectacular. And if Marcus Rashford plays like that, England can have him again.
Thomas Tuchel. Yeah. He'll be watching. Manchester United fans, I know Robbie Savage and Chris Sutton, I want to hear from you tonight. Everton fans as well. 6:06 follows the commentary of Liverpool, Manchester City on 5 Live and BBC Sounds. So 6:06 from around about 6 o'clock through until 8 o'clock this evening. Ole's at the moment inside Old Trafford. Very, very easy for Manchester United. Like the good old days, some would say. You have to go way back for that.
You've not seen a swagger like this for a while.
No, you have not.
Swaggering is not what you think of Manchester United in the last little while. But at the moment, there's an ultra confidence in every single player. And even players that maybe struggling a little bit. Xerxes, he is loving it out there. He's holding it well, he's picking up good positions, he's dropping deep, he's seeing everything around him. It's just too easy for him. And the fans are olaying it again.
jet-heeled Rashford on his way again down the right-hand side. The build-up to getting that ball to Rashford was lovely as well. Ahmad with a bit of control, little back heel to Xerxes. There was a layoff and then a pass to Maino. He found Rashford down the right-hand side, toying with a tired Everton team at the moment. That Wolves game for them next Wednesday really is a big one. Our Tuesday night commentaries actually, both in the lower reaches of the Premier League. Ipswich at home to Crystal Palace. On 5 Live, and BBC Sounds kicks off at 7:30. Leicester West Ham, so that's Ruud van Nistelrooy's first game in charge of Leicester. Commentary on that one on Tuesday will start on Sports Extra and then move to 5 Live once the Ipswich Palace game is done. Everton can't get a kick at the moment. Here's Luke Shaw just walking around inside his own half, whips a pass back to Maguire. First appearance in 10 games for him, so he's been missing same sort of time as Mainu. Ugarte on the move through midfield, bumped off the ball. Calvert-Lewin getting certainly a first touch, I think, since he's come on the field as a second half substitute. Certainly the first time I've mentioned him. Can't keep the ball in play. It goes out for a Manchester United throw on the right.
It's such an interesting subject at the moment. Dominic Calvert-Lewin obviously running out of time in his contract. Lots of talk about contracts the other side of Stanley Park. But, you know, what did Everton do in this situation? Did they cash in January? It's a big call from, you know, if he was the only one that was scoring goals for a period he was, then you can't. But he's not now, you know, and it's as a consideration, Sean Dyche, whether you do that or just let his contract run through.
4th consecutive season for Everton of fighting relegation. There was the points deduction last season. In the end, they were pretty comfortable with 40 points. The 2 seasons before that, though, not clever. It was tight. 16th in 2022. Under Rafa Benitez, and then Frank Lampard as Njai tries to get away from Martinez, gets down to the byline, scoops a high cross in towards the far post, but the ball had run too far. It had already gone behind the line, so that is going to be a goal kick for Manchester United.
Very noticeable though when Njai got the ball there. He's not had a great impact in the game in the second half, Njai, but most of the time I'm thinking, okay, then who are you up against? Well, in this case Martinez was up against him, but so was Ahmad. Ahmad's on all the way back there, and that's why I talk about that 3-4-3, the wide players in the 4. They're everywhere. They're the right back, the right wing back, the right midfield, the right wing. Ahmad's been all of them. He's been 2 players today, and it's he's been very special. And I don't know if Amarim will actually mention any individual players, but if you're going to note what he said and what he wants from his players, well, it's all written in that number 16 jersey.
Oh, here he goes again, Ahmad. Very nearly nicked it off Mikalenko. It's gone out for a Manchester United throw on the right. You cannot rest.
On cue, absolutely on cue.
Yeah.
Do you know what? I mean, a very different type of player, but for that winning it high up unexpectedly, it's N'Golo Kante.
Yeah.
It's one of those kind of ones where he's so quick. He reads players' feet so quickly. And although he's not a central player, and although he's a more kind of wing type of player, he's got a little bit of that about him, which is, by the way, for me, and for most of us, extremely high praise.
Closing stages then of the 1:30 kickoffs in the Premier League this afternoon. Manchester United leading Everton by 4-0. It's in the balance at Tottenham though, Aaron Paul.
Yeah, 12 minutes to go here. Spurs 1, Fulham 1. Dejan Kulusevski on for Spurs. No other player has created more goal-scoring opportunities than Kulusevski himself. And so Ange Postecoglou has rolled the dice to bring him on to try and jolt Spurs into life. They've just seen a James Maddison free kick deflected over the bar. Very, very wasteful indeed from the England man. But Spurs really just not helped by this lack of atmosphere at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. Is this a library? Are the chants coming from the corner? Fulham, though, playing with swagger. Spurs 1, Fulham 1.
Mason Mount is on for Manchester United here at Old Trafford. A thunderous ovation for Kobbie Mainoo, who he's replaced here. Manchester United attacking down the left. Dallow's little flick in to Rashford. Back heel into the path of Garnacho. Hits the shot and that's blocked, and the ball spins away to the left wing for United. Garnacho still on it. Back it comes to the corner of the area. Chip pass into the box. Bounces in front of Garnacho. Tarkowski's got it covered. Rashford trying to hit that on the bounce and completely missed it. Really difficult skill to execute that. It was sort of going to be a side volley at about hip height, and he just couldn't get a contact on the ball. Manchester United still lead Everton 4-0. What about events at Stamford Bridge, Sahel Sahi?
We're just a bit behind you here at Stamford Bridge. Alistair, Chelsea 2, Aston Villa 0. We've got 15 minutes to play, plus stoppages. Chelsea in control, but you feel there's another twist in this game, whether it's a Chelsea third or maybe an Aston Villa first goal of the afternoon. But we've still got plenty of time. Chelsea 2, Aston Villa 0.
Commentary on that one over on Sports Extra. Closing stages of Tottenham Fulham available via the BBC Sport website and app. Pat Nevins here at Old Trafford.
Interesting to watch the kind of, just for a moment.
This is good from Everton, attacking down the right-hand side. Can they turn it into a goal? Calvert-Lewin at the near post. Anana catches it, then he was caught by Calvert-Lewin or the defender who was trying to get a challenge in. Couple of Manchester United players now down hurt. We're going to have a stoppage in play.
Yeah, just we were talking earlier on about balls getting played across the front post and the centre forward has to be there. Beto is not a natural at that. However, Dominic Calvert-Lewin tried to do that there. He just couldn't get there quite in time. I think he'll be absolutely okay, the goalkeeper there, but much better from Everton.
One game in the Championship this afternoon, kicked off at 3. Derby against Sheffield Wednesday. There's been a goal. Nick Hatton.
Yeah, Derby 1, Sheffield Wednesday 0. It's Ebu Adams who has got it. Lovely run down the left-hand side from Marcus Harness. Low ball in, and there was Adams to fire home from 6 yards out. Derby 1, Sheffield Wednesday 0.
Less than an hour away from kick-off at Anfield. Full commentary on the way here on 5 Live and BBC Sounds of Liverpool against Manchester City. If you're on the go, on the move, you can listen via the BBC Sounds app. Remember, you can get us through the smart speakers as well. Just tell them to play BBC Radio 5 Live. 8 minutes remaining in this game here. Manchester United leading Everton by 4 goals to 0. And all the post-match reaction will feature in that Premier League review podcast that you can listen to via the BBC Sounds app. Reading Harborough in the FA Cup second round. Shock on the cards here. I think there's been another goal. Andy Stevenson.
Not another goal. We've played 53 minutes. It's still Reading 1, Harborough 2. The second half has started quietly. Reading have thrown on Charlie Savage. He's had a couple of swerving shots from outside the area, which Elliot Taylor in the Harborough goal has parried away. It looks as though it might be backs to the wall for Harborough in the second half. It's Reading 1, Harborough 2.
Could be some result that, though. Throw-in for Everton on the right. They're going to have to go away and lick their wounds after this one, trailing 4-0. Doucouré inside his own half, plays across to Branthwaite.
They've actually brought Jacob Ryan on, haven't they, for Tarkowski at the back there. And Ryan's not that, the young Irishman hasn't had that many opportunities. Really tall, seriously tall centre half, even for Premier League standards. But look at Everton. It's actually not what they need, a centre half, is it?
No.
What they need is a striker. What they need is a little bit of creativity in the final third. And certainly in the second half they've lacked up massively.
They got him from Lyon in the summer. This only his second substitute appearance in the Premier League. The other one came in the 3-2 defeat at Aston Villa. Remember the game where they were 2-0 up and then got undone eventually by that stunning John Duran winner. He's made a couple of starts in the League Cup as well. So Jacob Bryan is on. This is Njai. Ugarte shoulder to shoulder with him, knocks him over. Everton take their free kick quickly. Ball is played out to the right-hand side. Patterson's involved. Back it comes to McNeil, surrounded by a cluster of red shirts.
Oh, honestly.
Cross comes in from the right. Calvert-Lewin with the header, and Onana makes a really good save. Diving header, full length from Calvert-Lewin, matched by Onana with his dive. Got down sharply to his left. He was going to his right and switched direction to make the save. It remains Manchester United 4, Everton 0.
Right, I'll tell you what I was saying honestly therefore. The ball goes to the right-hand side. And what Everton need is the ball played in immediately. Patterson turns away, doesn't play it in. I looked straight down at the manager. Sean Dyche has turned around to everyone and went, what's going on? He eventually did play a ball in, nearly scored.
Right, drama at Tottenham, Aaron Paul.
Red card for Fulham goal scorer Tom Kearney, and this one has had a VAR intervention. So what's happened is Dejan Kulusevski played in on the ball. Kearney's gone up behind him and he's challenged him. It didn't look too serious, but what we've seen in the replay is Kearney's studs raking down the back of the calf and then Achilles of Dejan Kulusevski. Kulusevski down in agony. The referee basically plays on, then halts play, awards Kearney the yellow card. VAR interject. Everyone sees the slow-mo referee. There's oohs and ahs from the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, and Kearney has been sent off. Marco Silva now calling his team across for a mini pep talk, but Tottenham will play with an advantage here. Spurs 1, Fulham 1, Fulham down to 10 men.
Last few minutes available as commentary on the BBC Sport website and app. Xerxes with a little layoff to Rashford while we were listening to Aaron there, who's desperate for the hat-trick. He was wildly off balance and has shot a good 20 yards wide of the target.
Yeah, but he's getting into the right positions and he's, there's a hunger. Good to see a hunger back in Marcus Rashford's face and his body image.
Problem for Amad Diallo.
Well, they've made a lot of changes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 changes already.
Right, okay. So they can't make another, having made all 5 substitutions, and Amad Diallo is flat on his back. I mean, the game is won, there's 5 minutes to go. His industry, his effort and his execution this afternoon has been absolutely top-notch from Amad Diallo. Just seems to have a problem with the left leg, and the physio is out there at the moment helping him with it.
It's one of those ones where I bet the man just thinking, I should have taken him off. He's done so much. He's done the work of 2 players at the very, very least. He's played brilliantly. He's been completely selfless in the midst of it all as well. I always like to make a guess when we're doing these commentaries what they're going to spend their time looking at in match of the day. So, absolute toss-up. Is it going to be Amad Diallo, or is it going to be our man Marcus Rashford? Toss up between the two, I think.
Well, the man presenting this show this afternoon might be able to tell us, might already have wind of that. FA Cup second round latest, Reading Harborough, Andy Stevenson.
Oh, Reading have just missed a sitter to make it 2-2. Jaden Wareham in the centre. There was a brilliant break down the right-hand side. Ball played across. He was on the penalty spot, and he's just scuffed his finish, put it wide from about 6 yards out. It remains Reading 1, Harborough Town 2.
Chelsea 2, Villa 0. Closing stages over on Radio 5 Sports Extra. Quick plug for the new podcast available on a Friday on the BBC Sounds app as well. The Commentator's View. Myself, Ian Dennis and John Murray in conversation, trying to give a little bit of insight into what it's like being a commentator and doing this job. And before I can say any more, we're back to Stamford Bridge. There's been a goal, Sahel Sai.
And it's the third for Chelsea, and that means all 3 points. Chelsea 3, Aston Villa 0. The best goal of the lot. 8 minutes to play. Cole Palmer picks it up just outside the penalty area, curled it left-footed, and Robin Olsen, he stood and watched it fly past him. Brilliant. Chelsea 3, Aston Villa 0.
So a comfortable win for Chelsea this afternoon. It's going to be a comfortable win for Manchester United as well. We are playing out the last knockings here. 3 minutes plus added time to go. Manchester United just passing the ball around, keeping possession, making Everton run. Big test for Manchester United next Wednesday. That'll be a cracking listen. Arsenal against Manchester United, 8:15 on Wednesday night. Another night we're going to have a great choice as well, though, because Pat's sitting alongside Ian Dennis, and they're going to do full commentary of Newcastle against Liverpool on Sports Extra. So you're going to have to ping between the two. There has now been another goal at Reading, Andy Stevenson.
There has indeed. Reading have now equalised, and it's a lovely curling finish with his left foot from Charlie Savage. He had a couple of sighters a few minutes ago. This time he got it just right. He was on as a half-time substitute, and he may have got his side out of jail here for the time being. It's Reading 2, Harborough Town 2.
Rangers 1-0 winners at St Johnstone in the Scottish Premiership earlier on today. Another scoreline to bring you. Manchester United leading 4-0. Xerxes passed the ball straight out of play. Everton will get a throw. We are in the 89th minute of the game. Looking forward to hearing what Ruben Amorim has to say after this one, Pat.
It's one of those, I think he'll be really pleased about it. His team in the second half, they've played confidently. They've upped the pace a little bit. You know, the belief courses through a team when you get goals, but something a little bit special as well. You need to keep that going. So he won't get too carried away, because he knows what the next game's, and more importantly, next game is. So if you get a little bit too overexcited, you can look a little bit silly. He will not do that. However, he doesn't mention Amad Diallo. I'm going to huff it.
I mentioned Rangers winning the Scottish Premiership earlier on today. Game that kicked off at 3 o'clock. Hearts Aberdeen, Kenny Crawford.
16 minutes gone, Ali. Hearts 0, Aberdeen 0, but the hosts have started the better despite being 3 points adrift at the bottom of the table. A couple of half chances. One of them was for Lawrence Shanklin, their striker that's on a goal drought, comfortably over the bar. But you get a long round of applause from the Hearts fans as if to say, we're staying with you, Lawrence. We've got the faith. It's Hearts 0, Aberdeen 0.
Jack Harrison's ball with the outside of his left foot, which was siding into the Manchester United penalty area, has been intercepted by Lisandro Martinez. It's gone straight up in the air. It was an accidental back pass, but it has ended up in the arms of Onana, so he drops the ball at his feet. Manchester United start to play out. We're about to be told by the fourth official, Simon Hooper, how many added minutes we're going to get at the end of the game. Everton won't want too many.
No, they won't want. I don't think Manchester United will either. There's nothing to be gained. There's not much to be gained now. Yeah, there's good confidence about the team. They pass it about and enjoy it, but you really don't want anyone to get injured, you know, even if it's a soft muscle kind of thing. But there are one or two players that just want more minutes. Mason Mount's come on there, and he needs some. You know, he's playing a little bit more now. He's finally getting himself really fit, but he needs games.
Yeah, I think Ruben Amorim, that's one thing with the 3 games he's been in charge for so far, has been able to have a good look at quite a lot of his players. A few coming back for injury right now. Mainu obviously got some football today.
I still couldn't tell you what is even close to his first choice team. I couldn't even get close to it.
No.
I mean, there's one or two, obviously, Ahmad's one of them. But apart from that, I mean, Hoyland, is he your number one, or is it Rashford or Xerxes? No idea.
Mounts ball over the top, which Xerxes will chase. It's beyond Xerxes, the tall Dutchman. It rolls into the Everton box. Pickford, looking glum, away to our right, picks it up, bowls it out underarm. McNeil thought he was fouled on the halfway line. Here's Ahmad, little box of tricks, turns one round the corner off the heel of his left boot, finds Rashford. Everything he does, you can sense the excitement inside the stadium, the joy.
Yes, and also the vision, understanding 360 what's going around him. He didn't look behind him before he played that little flick there. And I'm saying that his interceptions are almost as good as, pushing it a bit, but they're like in goal chances in some ways. But this is a skillful player who's brilliant at dribbling as well. He's got so much to offer, but also the energy up and down this right-hand side has been it's been a joy to watch.
2.5 minutes to play here at Old Trafford. Game was done and dusted a long time ago. Manchester United leading Everton by 4-0. Chelsea 3-0 up on Villa. Tottenham 1-1 against 10-man Fulham at the moment. Here's Garnacho, corner of the Everton box, running away from Doucouré. Finds Ahmad, controls the ball with the studs of his left boot, uses the instep of the right boot to play to Ugarte. Now Mount goes wide here to the left. Dallow's got the ball at his feet. Dallow plays back to Mount again. Manchester United knocking it around for fun and will try and take the chance if it comes. Martinez plays it to the right-hand side. Ahmad, ball at his feet, running at two Everton defenders, skips past both of them in the penalty area. Little drag back. Oh, is he fouled there? He's gone down. He's not going to get the decision. And it remains Manchester United 4, Everton 0. And Njai puts his arms underneath his armpits, Ahmad, and hoists him to his feet as Dominic Calvert-Lewin gets on the ball for Everton inside the Manchester United half.
But the dancing feet were a blur, an absolute blur. So, they're going to have a look at it, obviously. The VAR will check that as well. He's not the type that goes down easily, but really, the little trick to get inside, he's got three players around him, and he is utterly in control of the situation. He feels he should have got a penalty.
Full-time whistle's going to blow here any second. What's happening at Tottenham, Aaron Paul?
Big chance of Fulham. Spurs 1, Fulham 1. Destiny Udogie losing position in the Fulham half, robbed by Harry Wilson, who sprinted 70 or 80 yards down the pitch, able to take it to the byline, popped a gorgeous ball across the face of goal, and there was Radu Dragusin just to hoik it off the line. Spurs 1, Fulham 1 into 7 added minutes.
Chances at Stamford Bridge as well, I'm hearing. Sahel Sahi.
Nearly Chelsea fourth. It was João Felix. He spun away on the arc of the centre circle, roared to the edge of the penalty area. His shot was saved by Robin Olsen. Then Madi Oeke on the rebound. His effort was dragged wide, and then Nkunku with a header which floated over the crossbar. Chelsea 3, Aston Villa 0. We're in the 89th minute.
Manchester United fans singing their team to the finish line here. It's going to be a valuable 3 points in the Premier League, only a 5th league win of the season, a big one as well. 4-0 against Everton. Everton on the ball inside their own half. Oh, another goal at Reading in the FA Cup. Andy Stevenson.
I think Harbour Town's legs are getting very tired out there. Reading have taken the lead. This time it's Adrian Akande capitalising on a bit of slow play at the back from Harbour. It's Reading 3, Harbour Town 2 now. We've got around about 25 minutes still to play.
We have got full commentary on the way here on 5 Live and BBC Sounds of Liverpool against Manchester City. Those are the teams that Manchester United long-term are chasing. That is why they brought Ruben Amorim in, and for a first home league game today for the Portuguese manager, that is an incredibly satisfying one. The full-time whistle has blown. He's being applauded off the field, the manager, not going out there to milk it or anything like that. He's got business to do. Thanks the fans for their applause. 6 changes to the lineup today. He's seen Marcus Rashford score 2, Joshua Xerxes score 2, and Manchester United win very comfortably indeed.
Do you know what? They were a joy to watch in that second half. It was easy for them. Look, Everton weren't at their best on the second half, especially when they lost that goal. But really, there was 2 or 3 fabulous performances. But what you are seeing is what you want if you're a Manchester United fan. You're seeing an improvement from every single player. The performances are getting better. The belief is rising. That's what if you talk about any management, not just football, anywhere in the world, in any business, that's what you want to get from management. And that's what he's getting already, even though it's early days.
Little snapshot as well as we leave you here at Old Trafford. Ahmad looks absolutely exhausted. Star man for Manchester United this afternoon, even though he didn't score. And Bruno Fernandes in his ear, still coaching him, giving him a lesson, encouraging him. I think the signs for Manchester United, it's very early days, I know, are encouraging under Ruben Amorim. He has his first Premier League win. It's finished Manchester United 4, Everton 0.
I suppose the other thing, Pat, that you're seeing, you talk about improvements that you're seeing. You're also starting to see combinations, aren't you, starting to work? And I'm particularly thinking down that right and central channel of Ahmad and Rashford and Xerxes this afternoon.
No, you're absolutely spot on there. I mean, again, I do go on a wee bit about Ahmad. I mean, that's the first time, one of the first times I've seen him in the flesh, so I'm seeing what he's doing off the ball as well. And all I can say is, wow, it must be a joy to play with. So whoever he's playing with, and by the way, you're right to mention, ahead of him, Rashford will make runs all day because Ahmad's going to spot them. So if you know the guy's going to see you, you'll make the runs. So he's helping Rashford, so you're right, he's got that understanding. Xerxes a bit easier for him because he could drop off and find the spaces. But remember, it goes the other way as well. And whoever's playing at the right centre-back position, every single time there's a player running at him, look round, there was Ahmad standing behind him, right beside him, helping him. He was everywhere, so you're right. Little moments where people are working together. And you looked at that centre-back line, the three centre-backs, Dele, Martinez and Mazraoui to start with. You kind of looked at it and you thought, yeah, absolutely, yeah, I get that. That looks comfortable, that looks okay. So yeah, slowly but surely, the beginning to build him is looking very good these early stages. But what's lovely is the lovely buzz around here. And I'll be honest about it, this place can be quiet sometimes. It wasn't in the second half today.
Well, and you can actually see it, Ali, in how the players are with each other at the end. And that's not just a celebration, but actually deep in conversation about what has happened in that last 90 minutes.
Yeah,
actually.
well, I think, Mark, as we said at the start of the game, that they are taking a lot of detail on board. Really struck, actually, by the reaction of the manager and then the players, because the manager left them to it. Ruben Amorim, I think, is enjoying the acclamation. He's loved the welcome he's got from Manchester United fans, but he's all business. He's not milking it. He's not making it about him. He wants to get this team playing on the pitch. I think they're already enjoying what they're doing under Ruben Amorim. Plenty of them are getting chances to show what they can do. Plenty are impressing. I mean, in terms of just choosing players up front at the moment, Xerxes scoring 2 today, Rashford looking sharp and scoring 2, Højlund 2 on the Thursday night. They want to be involved. Pat's right, the place is buzzing.
What you would say, though, Pat, as well, and it's important to mention this if people say only came to us for the second half, there was a vulnerability about Manchester United at times in the first half. Everton did have chances. The final ball often wasn't great, but then if you're going to flip that again, Manchester United recently at 1-0 have suddenly found themselves 2-1 down, or at 2-1, 2-all. They haven't very often gone on to win by 2, 3, 4 goals.
Absolutely. The comfort you get of that first goal isn't always the same. Sometimes it's one goal, but that's not enough, and there's a worry and there's a fear. There was a confidence there that came from it, and it just grew, and it grew so quickly within all the players, and everybody wanted to get the ball as soon as got that goal ahead. Before that, you're absolutely right, it wasn't there. In fact, I thought Everton were the better team up to about 30-ish minutes. But after that, when they got that confidence, and that's, I suppose, what the manager's saying, look, he needs to get inside their heads, he needs to get them working as a group, he needs to get them understand his system and the little adaptations he makes to his system. And by the way, I do love what he does when he makes the changes, because he makes those changes, and it's personnel more than anything, but it's tiny little tweaks that make it harder to play against a lot of the time. And see, if you're out there on the pitch and you look around and you think, actually, that's helped us, the manager's helped us there, you really start believing in him. You want to play for him, you want to be with them, you want to be part of this thing that is quite clearly growing. And again, I go back to the fact that it's the players. You could see it there. It's the manager, not milking it, as Alistair absolutely rightly says. He's saying, wait, this is the first little step. And as it should be with Manchester United, this should be a very, very top-level club. But when you see the fans saying or thinking, oh yeah, we can feel this, you start, I'm not going to say believing, but you start thinking, he's got a chance.
Pat, Ali, thank you very much. Manchester United 4, Everton 0.